This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It's your birthday today, Reese. It's your birthday today, Reese. It's good shit. It's your birthday today, Reese. It's your birthday today, Reese.
Yeah, you heard the song. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. Welcome to all the scallywags in the chat room, all of the well-wishers on social media, and all of you here on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. Don't forget, you can go to reseontheradio.com so you can watch the show if you wish to. Otherwise, just sit right there in your car or in the office with the transistor radio or whatever it is that kids are using today. So you can listen to the program. We've got plenty of news and plenty of views to get into. By the way, that little ditty in the beginning, it's your birthday today, Reese. A good friend of mine, ex-girlfriend as it were, but a good friend of mine, Laura, used to send that to me every year for my birthday. And it's been now, I think, a little more than 20 years she's been sending that to me on my birthday. And you can find it on YouTube. It's called Epic Happy Birthdays on YouTube. Epic Happy Birthdays. And they've got that song for for every name you could think of, except for Quandre or Shantifa. It's not going to have those names. It's very basic names, unfortunately. They have not reached the Swahili version of names today. So you can get, if your name is Anne, there's one probably for you. David, there's one for you. Hey, Kelly, there's one for you. But there is not one for Your Majesty, unfortunately. I'm sorry. They haven't gotten there yet. So maybe you can find someone that you love and you can send one of those. Again, it's Epic Happy Birthdays on YouTube. And you can find your name and send it to a friend, someone that you love. Folks, I know that people think I'm being tongue-in-cheek here when I talk about Lamont Watch. But it's not a joke. It's not a joke. Today was an example of why Lamont needs to come out of hiding and address this situation with Eversource and with ever-increasing energy bills that people are going to have to face. And with the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority today approving another $80 million in increases. $80 million. To the point where news anchors are now using the term we. They're not even saying you. They're saying we now. Which is, again, astonishing. I never thought that I would hear that on a news channel. But go to all of them. Go to every one of their websites and listen to the anchors talking about it. And they use the word we. Here's one. I'll give you one example. Here's from WFSB. What's his name? Dylan Fearon, WFSB. Here's him talking about the increase.
Well, Karen Nicole, it's another gut punch for people in Connecticut. Back in July, we were already told our electric rates were going up. Eversource claimed to be an average of $48 a month for each customer. We've seen some people, their electric rates, their electric bills went up hundreds of dollars in July. Now we're being told we're on the hook for another $80 million. Eversource and UI requested this money. It was just approved by the state regulators today, and we're told that money is being used to enhance the electric vehicle charging grid.
What? The electric vehicle charging grid? You mean the one that no one is going to be using or very few people use as is? You don't say.
Still unclear how much will be on the hook for this overall each month, on average, each customer. But we're told it's $80 million over 8 months, starting September 1st, ending April 30th. The decision unanimous just a couple of hours ago.
Commissioner Karen,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Bukowski,
Yes.
Chairman Gillette.
Yes. The decisions have been adopted.
We're also hearing from Republican leadership in Connecticut saying this will have serious consequences for consumers and taxpayers, adding these rate adjustments will further burden ratepayers already struggling to pay their monthly electric bills. Of course, Karen Nicole, a lot of frustrated people. We're hoping to hear from Eversource and UI later today. Again, $80 million over the next 8 months. Connecticut taxpayers on the hook for this.
But nothing about Governor Lamont? Republicans are calling for a special session and nothing from Lamont, not a quote. No one's calling his office. State's on the hook for another $80 million and not a word from him. Unless you've seen something on Twitter or X as it's called. I went to go look. I didn't get a chance because I was caught doing something else. I got a little busy, but I haven't seen anything. Let's go to Governor Ned Lamont's page now. Let's see if Lamont has released a statement. Here he is. I don't appear to be following him. Let me see. Primary day. That's okay. That's there. Sales tax-free week. Okay, he posted that on the 12th. Okay, so the last post by Ned Lamont was yesterday. It's been a little more than 4 hours since this happened, and still nothing from the governor, nothing to tell anybody about this? Why? Let me venture a guess here. What Connecticut is dealing with is unchecked power, power that will not be challenged. Doesn't matter who's in the House. It doesn't matter whether or not Republicans are in the legislature. It matters not. It is unchecked. And it's not just unchecked by the political opposition in the state. It is unchecked by the citizens. Now, I don't know what this is, and I had a conversation earlier today. I've never understood this, but people will vote themselves into the poorhouse to avoid changing leadership in this state. I don't understand it. But remember, you are giving them an absolute blank check to do whatever they want to the state, Ned Lamont included. The fact that he has not been asked to respond to this, at least to the citizens of the state, saying, I at least feel your pain, understanding that, or at least explaining why this has to happen. Why would the guy go into virtual hiding? People should be knocking on his door. The news media, that is, not average citizens. The media should be knocking on his door and saying, what's your statement to the people of Connecticut about another $80 million being tacked on to their monthly electric bill for something they are not asking for? An electric car power grid. What do you say to them? And he should answer. The fact that there's no statement yet is frightening. We've got, Thursday, Friday, are we going to let this go into the weekend, or everybody's just going to chalk it up and go, okay, we'll just move on to the next story? Which I have a strong feeling that's going to happen. Yes, Republicans are going to do what Republicans do. Conservatives in the state are going to do what they're going to do. They are going to complain about this. I love the way that the reporter says, Connecticut legislators pounced. What do you mean pounced? What's that supposed to mean? What do you mean they pounced? Like they saw an opportunity to pounce. Oh, another $80 million to taxpayers. Hey, Republicans, we've got something to be upset about. pounced. Everyone should be outraged, no matter your political stripe. This is costing you stuff that you're paying for electricity you're not even using. This should be a problem, shouldn't it? To hell with pouncing. People are rationally outraged. That's how you write that copy. You simply write, people in the state of Connecticut found out that they're on the hook for another $80 million between now and April. And they are outraged. You can write that copy having talked to no one. Because that is the obvious response, isn't it? Especially when you got news reporters using the term us and we. People are shaking their heads today. How far could this possibly go? Who thought, name a citizen that you know who ever thought that an electric bill was going to end their business or end their relationship with their landlord or put them against the odds with their mortgage payment. Who thought that? No one did. Just after suffering a blow of July 1st, then they get hit with this. No one even thought to say to themselves, okay, let's hold out. They just said, nope. Because I almost feel like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Complain? That's it. That's what you have the power to do. You have the power to complain. You're not going to get rid of us. You're not going to elect people who are going to be fiscally responsible. Are you kidding me? Listen, you have no idea. We got more taxes down the pike. 860-522-WTIC. Sean is in Meriden. Hello, Sean. You're on Reese on the Radio.
Hi, I am so with you because I've called Blumenthal, the other knucklehead, and my representative out of Meriden, and none of them will respond to this. And I'm like, here's the deal. Connecticut needs to wisen up and vote these clowns out of office because they act. And the reason why Lamont is in the basement is because it worked for Camilla, it worked for Joe, and he's with them. And guess what? The they saw it work there, and so it's going to be here. And you're right. They're going to wait till Saturday. They're going to drop something at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and they technically addressed it.
Yep.
And it's bullcrap because not only are they paying for the grid, but the taxes are also paying for the illegal immigrants in the state. That we're paying for their housing, we're paying for their food, we're paying for their clothes, we're paying for So I got to work I'm about to turn 65 tomorrow.
Holy moly!
Just to have them take my money because they want to get politically set.
So, Sean, wait a minute. I don't mean to cut you off mid-sentence, but what you just said, I'm sorry, is of concern of mine. You said you're about to turn 65 tomorrow. By the way, happy early birthday. But you said you're about to get a second job in order to make ends meet at 65?
Yeah. Yes.
This is what I'm talking about. That you are exactly what I'm talking about here. Because again,
and in order to get my benefits, if I want to retire, I have to cut my pay in half, lose my full-time job, and take the part-time job in order to just get the benefits I've been paying since I was 17.
Wow. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And again, it's got to be more than the power to complain because, again, I really do feel, though, Sean, that, there's an echo chamber. And again, I got nothing against the people who are on our side who come to this network and have this conversation. But you know what? I'm going to say it before. I know there are Democrats within the legislature who are feeling this as well or feeling it for the constituents. They need to come out and say something too. And they
do.
You know what I'm saying? Because remember, the Democrat Party is supposed to be the party that cares about the most vulnerable. Well, who do you think is going to be affected by another $80 million in taxes?
Well, I think that what they consider the most vulnerable is the people that will go on the company dole or the state dole, and then you'll vote for us because we write the checks.
Yeah, exactly right.
They're counting on that.
Exactly. Thank you, Sean, and good luck to you, man.
Anyway.
Yeah, good luck to you, and happy early birthday again, man. Congrats. I give you props at 65. I say to myself, I'm never going to stop working. I give him props at 65 tomorrow still and working 2 jobs. Let's go to Tim in Hamden. Tim, this has got to upset you. Come on. I mean, this is a serious.
Very much. It is, start hitting them while they're down, while people are out on their summer vacations, doing all of that sort of stuff. And with the classic, well, it's just a few more dollars.
Oh.
Don't worry about it and all that sort of stuff. So 2 major issues to discuss. We have to find a way. In Wallingford, that's owned by the town, I believe, the power company there.
Uh-huh.
So, there's a lot of places where the public, owns the power and the utility thing. So basically, we have to maybe is a bigger issue talking about having a nonprofit power company, because this does affect business, livelihoods, everybody else shutting off, these things. We have to use the rainy day fund to pay for these things. We have to, stand up. No one in the Democratic Party wants to do this. And I was at the polling places helping some people, even though I'm not a Democrat.
Right.
They were around and they're like, I don't know anything about that. Like what? So that's one thing. And with so many people, I am half thinking this is just a wild idea I'm throwing out. With all these races out there that are unopposed.
Oh, yes.
45, no Republicans in 45 races.
Right.
I think you could get a lot of Democrats, Greens, everybody else to do a write-in campaign. Essentially, you're going to run and say, look, I'm only here because these rates are too high. We can't afford it. Everything else is sideways. Everything else is for later on we have to talk about. So I'm going to put my, people should consider, I'm going to put my name on the ballot. You're not going to probably get elected,
right.
But throw a little, match out there.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of throwing dirt. Like we call that in the hood, we call that throwing a little dirt in the game. So at least let them know that there are people who are considering, or sort of pushing a challenge. Let me ask you this, Tim, considering from your perspective, and you and I have had gone at odds about, social issues. Do you think that this issue, because it's really hitting it doesn't matter what your political stripe is, this will hit you in the pocketbook, and there are plenty of people who are going to suffer from this. But do you believe that this is a political game? I hate to put it back to politics, but everything nowadays is. Do you think this is a political game changer because people are affected in such a real way?
If people, as much as, I'm finally on the side of some Republicans and everything else on this issue and everything like that, it's really a citizens movement. It's a movement of people and everything that finally say enough is enough. We have to do something about this. And I like, telling their candidates, hey, I like you on, 99% of them, but this is just too far. I have to choose between, I'm on a fixed income. I have to choose between medicine, food, and paying the electric rate. You can't put me in that. You're going to get thrown out.
Yeah.
You're not in Venezuela or someplace like, you're going to have to start, listening to our demands and start, if the state wants to, have power stations, all that stuff, take it out of the rainy day fund or whatever. You make that political decision, stand or fall on that, but don't make it, so that, I hear, months later, you're going to get it in the keister later on, and you have to decide that. So it's time for people, join together, people. Have a good one, Reese.
Tim, thank you. I will have to admit, and I'm going to give him a round of applause, that has got to be the best phone call Tim in Hamden has ever given. And look, something like this, I always believe it, truth be told. I believe that matters like this, all of us, we're all just busting our hump trying to get by. And when things like this happen, when you see people who are negligent and just overreaching, where they're going for your pocketbooks, costing you more, especially under the circumstances. It's not like that board did not know that people are suffering daily with managing the cost of their daily lives. For them to throw this out there and for the governor to see this happen and not respond immediately to the citizens in any meaningful way just shows that it's unchecked power. It is unchecked power. And if we could get Tim on board, this is obviously a bridge too far. That's all I'm saying. Okay? I think we can all still look at that now on WTIC and go, yeah, I think they went too far here. I think they're way ahead of their skis. We'll take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views, and my birthday when we return. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter. So help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank.
You are so welcome, Jason. Thank you. Michael A., thank you. Commentary, thank you as well. And my beautiful bride. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the birthdays.
News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app now.
Hey, Tom Shattuck here with a new opportunity for you. The 20-pound summer slim down with Awaken 180 weight loss. Dropping 20 pounds before summer ends. Cruising to your goal of 30, 40, 50 plus pounds down. It's simple. You take the few last weeks of summer, eating, drinking, enjoying the weather, but the difference? You're doing it with the 20-pound summer slim down. But Tom, summer's almost over. Well, that's the point. The pounds melt off fast with Awaken 180. I dropped my first 20 in less time, and that easy 20 propelled me to reach my goal of losing 80 pounds. Think about it. You're about to slide back into the same old fall routine with the same old mindset. No, mix it up. Live up the rest of your summer while dropping your first 20. Then jump into fall with a whole new groove. Yeah, I said it. You'll be saying it too in just a few weeks from now. 20-pound summer slim down with the solution for weight loss. Make your consultation now at 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
And now, a WTIC news update.
84 degrees at 3:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Mid-80s this afternoon. Chance of a thunderstorm. Low 60s tonight. Mid-80s again tomorrow. Jonathan Jacobson of Stamford feels he would have won his Democratic primary for state rep anyway, but he got some late help from his opponent, incumbent Annabelle Figueroa. Just before the election, anti-Semitic comments by Figueroa made weeks ago went public. According to a translation, Figueroa said, quote, "We cannot permit a person of Jewish origin to represent our community." Jacobson says she apologized yesterday.
I felt the sincerity in her apology, but I shared with her that it was not only hurtful but harmful, and that the damage had been done. She asked me what I think she should do because she did not know. My response was that I called on her to resign all three of the elected positions she currently holds.
There's no word on whether Figueroa will do that. Amid low turnout, Jacobson won with 600 votes to Figueroa's 350.
Damn, you can't say nothing.
Endorsed candidates
What happened?
lost the two Republican races.
You can't say nothing.
He beat Jerry Smith for the GOP.
Anything wrong costs you everything.
Incumbent Chris Murphy.
What? I don't. What did I miss?
Congressional district, Michael.
She had to give up her seat or whatever, the race. She said something about the Jewish people.
Oh, yeah. I saw that story. Right.
Amid Republican calls for Trump to stop talking about personal grievances and get back to the issues. CBS News political director Finn Gomez.
There's been a push and some frustration that former President Trump and his campaign aren't focused on the issues that Republicans feel that they can win on, which are immigration, on the border, and on the economy.
Vice President Harris will be in North Carolina Friday, also talking about the economy. Year-to-year inflation came in at less than 3% last month.
Prices at the retail level are up 2.9% over the past 12 months. Excluding food and energy, the annualized gain in the core is 3.2%. Now, both of these represent an improvement from the previous month, and they're the lowest annual increases since early 2021.
Mark Hamrick of Bankrate.com. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 228 points, S&P climbing 12 points. The NASDAQ is down 48 points. And we check the WTIC forecast.
Partly sunny the rest this afternoon. Hazy skies due to high-altitude smoke for distant wildfires. High 88. There'll be a thunder shower in spots this afternoon and early this evening. Mainly clear overnight. Low 60. Partial sunshine tomorrow. Again, somewhat hazy. There could be a spotty afternoon to early evening thunder shower. High tomorrow 88. Low tomorrow night 62. Clouds and sun on Friday. High 88. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
84 right now. Red Sox and Rangers pregame 6:10 on WTIC. The Yard Goats home to play Somerset. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Granger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
WTIC-AM, an equal opportunity employer, is dedicated to providing broad outreach regarding job vacancies at our station. We seek the help of local community organizations in referring qualified applicants to our station. Community organizations that wish to receive our vacancy information should call Stephanie Gragan at 804-474-0010. In addition, all listeners are encouraged to visit Odyssey.com for an online listing of job openings at all Odyssey radio stations.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast,
even houses with people still in them.
896-400. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle.
We had this
Unless you
family
use
chat
ZipRecruiter.
once
ZipRecruiter makes finding
where
quality
someone
people
said,
a
what would you
breeze.
rather
And
have
right
in
now
your
you can try
house,
it for
roaches
free at
or ghosts?
ZipRecruiter.com/free.
And my
With
response was,
ZipRecruiter, one click
well,
sends
I
your
don't think
job
I'd
to
ever
hundreds
hear
of top
one
job
person
sites.
complain
But
about
more than that,
having ghosts in
ZipRecruiter's
their
advanced
cereal.
technology identifies the need, sends you a list
I'm like,
of
you gotta
ghosts
be
all day.
Yeah, exactly.
and actively invites them to apply for
I
your
think you have to
job.
be from the hood to understand that.
I done had roaches before, and that's not cool.
Exactly.
Get a quality
Ah, look,
candidate
there's a
within the
ghost in my
first
Lucky
day.
Charms.
That's
No
right,
problem.
the first
I'll still
day.
eat them.
Now for business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to Zip.
Them roaches be scaring you, so they like ghosts anyway.
/free.
I guess that's fair.
ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process.
We still
and
got
a
Dan
range
on
of
hold.
treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the
Dan is gone, but putting in, you got 4 lines.
Oh, okay.
ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free. with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
I'm Jennifer Osborne, General Saxon Engineering. We work with the government, and so we have to have a lot of things in place.
That's why Faxon is seeking NIST compliance, now a key to landing and keeping government contracts. Tab Computer Systems is helping them do that.
This is like on a whole nother level, and they make it easy to do. They have been right on the forefront of making sure they have products for us to meet all the requirements for our NIST compliance.
When Jennifer has questions about NIST, Tab has answers.
Every time I have a question about something, I have a specific contact, and he's wonderful at getting back to me and saying, okay, here's what I found out. Jen, this is how we're going to tackle this issue.
Ready for your company to become NIST compliant? Get there with T's and training. Call 1-888-TAB-4-HELP. 1-888-TAB-4-HELP. Or at tabinc.com. Technologies advancing business. Tab Computer Systems.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 10.
We're back. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. Let me read this this was on Twitter. I thought this was interesting. Mark says, WTIC 1080 host Reese on the Radio asking where's the local media on the new Eversource charges, questioning Governor Ned Lamont. Someone needs to tell Reese WTIC has a news department. And I agree. I don't have to be direct. That was my question to everybody in news, everyone in the state. And that was the reason why I made the comment when I said the news media, when you start hearing them say we, not you, because remember, the news media is talking about this or usually talks about things like this objectively, or at least they're supposed to. They would say Connecticut residents. They would say Bridgeport residents. Bristol No. They're saying we. So with all due respect, when I'm saying the news department, I'm telling everybody. I don't have to, again, I'm not drawing my ire towards anyone. In fact, my ire is towards the governor who didn't and this is the part that everyone needs to understand. He didn't have the common decency after hearing this proposal and this going through to get ahead of it. He should have been the first guy to respond. As soon as the word got out that taxpayers are going to have to pay for an electric car grid that many in the state don't use, an overwhelming amount of people don't use. What do we got? 98% of the state doesn't use it? And never once said, oh yeah, that's my bull crap. The electric vehicle grid, oh, that's the thing that I'm pushing. I just cost my constituents $80 million. And you're not the first guy to talk. If that doesn't look, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Cowardly? Or how about the word unengaged or disengaged? That's exactly what I'm saying. So everybody knows that we should be reaching. Everyone should be on the phone right now. Hey, Governor, do you have a response to this? Hey, Governor, Connecticut wants to know. That's the point. 860-522-WTIC. George is in Canton. Hello, George. Thank you for waiting, sir. How are you?
Well, greetings, Reese. Can you hear me all right?
Oh, no, you're perfect. Go ahead, sir.
Oh good. Okay. This the electric thing, it seems to me to kind of bear a family resemblance to paying off student loans for people.
Right.
We all pay the electric bill for our own house, and we're paying for other people's. There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah, this is a constant theme in the state where it was one thing when it was about we need to take care of those who are disenfranchised in the state. Now this is becoming overwhelmingly abusive in the power structure in the state. Because this $80 million to be approved after the Eversource, it's not even 6 months down the line. It's a month later. And now all of a sudden they're tacking on another $80 million bill. And it almost seems, it's out of touch, but it almost seems cruel in some way.
Well, Reese, look, I am, as Bill O'Reilly always says, a simple man. And I know there's folks out there in the Farmington Valley that hear me on the radio, and I get approached by people occasionally.
Right.
And I'm just going to say something that's going to piss off a whole lot of people, but I don't really care. I mean, I'm 80 years old. I couldn't care less. I say any party that endorses abortion, I say they couldn't care less about anybody.
Yeah.
Because if you'll eliminate the weakest of all of us, then what in the world do you care about anybody else?
And, right, exactly. You could do it with a straight face.
There are people, Reese, there are people on that side of the ledger that care more about animal rights.
Yeah.
You get these stories about these hoarding of animals, like one in the press just in the last week or so.
Yeah.
There's more outrage against abused animals, and everybody, it's the people that say, well, it's a woman's body. No, with all due respect, except for a very minor percentage, those women had fun getting pregnant, except for a very few percentage that might have been raped by their fathers.
Right.
I don't buy it. The other thing I want to. Hey,
I got to move on for you, George, because I got a lot of people. I got a full line. Let me move on to the next one because I got Bob in Granby. Hello, Bob. You're on Reese On Radio. How are you, sir?
Hey, Reese. How you doing?
Pretty good, sir.
Good. So, just want a little bit on your electricity thing.
Yes.
So I happen to work next to the Pura headquarters in New Britain, and one of your major TV outlets showed up there today to do some kind of a story. And they basically set up on the property that I take care of, which is private property. And so I confronted them and said, did you ask the owner's permission to set up here? Oh no, it was a nice shady spot. So we thought we'd choose this. I said, well, it's private property, So we basically told them, hey, just, behave yourselves and
be respectful.
They got me. Yeah. But the thing that got me, there was no one from Pura there. There was no crowds. There was no outrage.
Right.
Nothing. They just basically stood there and filmed a segment and got their stuff back in the car and left.
And they didn't even bother to talk to residents. That's another part that I don't seem to understand.
No,
right?
They didn't. There's people walking up down that street all day long, and they didn't even bother to talk to them.
Yeah. See, again, this is the part. This is the elites, right? They look at everybody else as beneath them. They have no interest. Sure, they're talking about the rates, the electricity rates going up, but if they were worth an ounce of salt, they would make sure that every citizen within arm's reach was on the camera screaming and saying, this is enough's enough. It doesn't matter what bracket you're in, whether it be rich, poor, working poor, middle class. This is an abuse of power, and they need to get that on there to force the governor and not only that, the legislature to have this session now, so that there's a conversation about what they're going to do for the people. And I have a strong feeling in my heart of hearts, no one's going to do a thing. I really do. I really believe no one's going to do a thing.
And that's the hard part because, they don't even say, hey, we're going to be in New Britain this afternoon at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
At the Pura headquarters, if you want to come out and voice your opinion.
And this is the only place. Isn't it weird? Like the only place where people are going to talk about it is in talk radio. It's insane. Yeah. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate you. Let's go to Kurt. Kurt's in his truck. I'm assuming it's not an electric. I'm sure it's not an electric one, Kurt, right?
No, this is a gas truck.
What's going on, Kurt?
Well, I just look at it this way. I don't think it's so much political
as
it's a monopoly.
Okay.
Because if the gas station that I drive my F-150 into probably every day, because I do a lot of driving to get gas at, if they told me in a couple of months, you're going to pay more for your fuel because I have to replace my tanks and pumps.
Right.
Well, first off, the business is supposed to take care of their own stuff.
That's right.
If they're going to supply a service to me, it's their responsibility to supply what it is for them to be able to supply me with their product.
That's correct.
I don't think we should have to pay for anything as far as telephone poles, because the power company owns them. They're actually power poles. They're not telephone poles.
Right.
All this delivery service stuff, and then this, I'm paying for somebody else's electric bill.
Well, those things alone, everyone thinks is outrageous. But then to find this $80 million tack on for something that 98% of the state doesn't use, and that's an EV, electric grid, an electric vehicle. What 80 million? It's like you paying for an abortion at 75.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's like,
and all these charging stations do. If you go to any of the rest areas on the highways, they just tie up a huge section of the property. I'm in and out of those things all day long. I drive Connecticut, Mass, Rhode Island. Every time I go in, if there's maybe one car at a charging port,
yeah,
with the 20 or 30 open spots there,
yeah, it's true.
I just don't get it. Why am I paying for what somebody else wants?
And they're irritated. Look, that's the part that's interesting. When you find out that you're paying for those charging ports that no one is using, right? It's like if your governor were to come to you and say, we're going to build a whole bunch of bathrooms at a rest stop that no one uses, right? And it's going to cost everybody $7 million. It's a state-of-the-art gas, a pit stop that no one uses. Every time you drive past it, maybe 3 cars are there. Why? Because it's right off an exit of a major town that has restaurants, bars, and stop and shops and all that other stuff that people can use the bathroom freely. No one uses that thing because, of course, there are other places to go where people can grab a meal, maybe rest, stay at a hotel. Why would I do it? So when you say it's like the necessity of it all, and that's the part that we know that Lamont is not coming forward with, because they know that the necessity for this charging grid, as it were, there is none. There's absolutely none at all.
He's a jackass. I don't know how he's managed to stay in power. He is totally useless.
Yeah, I tell you.
I wouldn't trust him to hold a piece of paper towel for me that was wet.
Thank you, Kurt. Hey, be safe out there on the roads. By the way, we got a BPS Traffic Center report coming up soon for you as well. Robert is in Cheshire. Hello, Robert. You want me to restart? Oh, no, wait. We're at the break point. Okay, you guys, Robert and Mike, please stay on the line. We'll get back to you shortly. Let's take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views, and, of course, your comments in the chat room on Reese On The Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Men, though it really does go without saying, practicing better medicine almost always means better outcomes for patients. And if you suffer with erectile dysfunction, you certainly want a good outcome. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. And because we do practice better medicine, we're the leader in treating men's sexual health issues in the Northeast. ED is a terrible condition. It causes stresses in relationships. It creates anxiety and undue hardships on a man and often on their partner as well. Yet many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But I want to tell you today that you can be free of ED. Seriously, if you're like most men, the treatments we offer at Northeast Men's Health will work for you. In fact, we have protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means you can likely enjoy great sex again without the stress that ED can create. You might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices across the Northeast to serve you.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Beyonce's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Retirement can be but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading is a life-changing, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080. Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
And back to the phones we go on News Talk 1080 WTIC. Let's get to Robert in Cheshire. Hello, Robert. You're on Reese on the Radio. How are you, sir?
Reese, I've got so much to say, but I'll make it brief. Number one, Tim's conversion might suggest that we all need to get our ice skates out and get them sharpened. What do you think?
Oh, I could. Again, listen, I was a little nervous, but there was a part of me that said, if he's going to spin this in the opposite direction, I at least want to hear what he had to say. But for me, there was a part of me that just said, okay, this is clearly resonating. And if it can unite opposing parties in such a way to get Tim on board. I know we could have, in some way, we've kind of put him on a pedestal, but this is real. I mean, it's not a joke anymore.
Well, that's exactly right. And what it's showing, and I personally am afraid Connecticut is gone because one-party rule is good for those in power.
Sure.
We've had one-party rule in the state for so long. Your prior caller called the governor or something, and it doesn't make any difference what he called him. But the guy isn't a leader. He claims to have been a small business guy. I did the research. At most, he had 100 people in his company, and we all heard him during COVID where somebody asked a question. He would immediately defer to Josh. What do you think he had his own Josh at his small business that never, ever went above a $25 million top line?
Yeah.
I would suggest also to all of your listeners that there are ways we can at least vent and maybe make something happen. The Scott Pearson petition at change.org.
That's right.
There are now, I think, close to 30,000 people that have signed that, myself included. And one last, I probably have said this before, I have friends that live near me who are financial immigrants from Venezuela, and they are looking in horror at what we see going on in Connecticut. I call this place, it's not my term, Connecticuela. And if you wonder why so many federal officials come to Connecticut over the last several years, it's because they're trying to see what Connecticut is doing so they can roadmap it across the country.
130% right there, my friend. You are so right about that, Robert. It's like looking at Connecticut like a test sub, or what do you call it, a guinea pig.
Exactly. One last, if I may, I'll get out of your hair. If this election coming up is all, it's about personalities as far as Trump is concerned, whatever else, and he's an odious individual. But if we don't recognize that we bring a different set of people into the administration than what we have right now and what Kamala would bring in, then we're lost. And we need to make that change. We do need to bring Mr. Trump and the people he would bring with him. I'm hoping he'll put out a list of people that he would bring into his cabinet.
Just like he did in 2016. Just like that. You're absolutely right. Thank you. That's a very good point. I don't want to lose Mike in Plainville. So, Mike, we're going to bring you up at the top of the hour. But what Robert just said is a very important point. It's like, there's going to be, and I think Ned Lamont knows this as well as the Democrat legislature, this Democrat-run state. If this country votes for Kamala Harris, that is nothing more than telling legislators here and the governor, you want more of the same. That's exactly, this fiscal responsibility nonsense, no. You want higher taxes. You want us to bleed you dry in the pocketbook. You are telling them that you want more of the same. And they're going to give it to you. Trust me. They can find a way to take your money so they can spend it for whatever they want. They will take full advantage of that. The only way you can send them a message is, look, it's okay. If Tim can say this is wrong, so can every other Democrat in the state. If they know it's time right now to say, all right, we're going another direction, we got to give the other side a try. And see what they do. And if they screw it up, fine, come on back. But it's not worth it anymore. You're going to vote yourself into the poorhouse. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading into downtown Hartford right now and you're on the eastbound side of 84, look for slow traffic now as you move by exit 43 Park Road in West Hartford down into the downtown tunnel. Westbound side of...
Thank you, Mary. Unapologetic Eric. I like that. Oh, unapologetically Eric. I love that name. Hi, Susan. Thank you. David D., thank you. Much appreciated. I did hear the uptick in the whooping cough, and you are 100% right. It has everything to do with the illegals. Who else? I think I got everybody else.
20, the left and center lanes are blocked there, so you want to stay to the right. Once again, delays almost back to 16 behind that. Now, if you are traveling into Waterbury, that looks decent. 84 eastbound slowing by 18, 84 westbound slowing 22 into the Mixmaster. Also seeing some delays on the westbound side of 84 in Southbury from 15 to 14. 84 eastbound in Danbury delays New York, Connecticut line out to exit 5. Again, some slow traffic. 84 eastbound in Newtown 10 up to exit 11. Looks like we have an accident now northbound on the Wilbur Cross Parkway. It looks like it's up by exit 62, so you got delays back to exit 60 in Hamden behind that. 95 southbound New Haven tight, 46 down to 44. Now we have a couple of road closures we want to tell you about. One is in Harwington. Route 118 is shut down at the Route 8 ramps because of a 2-vehicle accident reported there. Also in Plymouth, Route 72 is shut down at Shoal Street because of a crash involving a tractor-trailer that hit a railroad bridge overpass. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
WTIC is 99 and kicks off a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
84 degrees, 4 o'clock. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. A late morning gas leak has led to a key road closure in Hartford. Main Street, Route 44 is
You're right back.
High Street for 1 block. The Hartford Fire Department says it got word of a gas leak at 1355 Main Street. Nearby buildings were evacuated. Now the leak is under control. Residents are back home, but Main Street at that spot will remain closed as the utility works on repairs. There was a major hazmat emergency response at a FedEx dock in Windsor Locks this morning. Nitric acid was spilled. According to state officials, no one was hurt. Matt Corey comes out the winner in the Republican U.S. Senate primary. He took about 55% in a low turnout win over the party's endorsed candidate, Jerry Smith. Corey says he's surprised.
It was just such a low voter turnout, and we tried with our campaign to engage all the Republican voters that we could possibly engage to get them out to the polls.
Corey won about 19,000 votes statewide compared to 16,000 for Smith. Corey now challenges Chris Murphy, who says he's looking forward to working to secure Democratic wins. Michael Goldstein won the Republican nomination for the U.S. House from the 4th District. He'll face incumbent Jim Himes. Democratic Congressman John Larson at the White House this afternoon, marking the 89th anniversary of Social Security. He calls it a lifeline for 68 million Americans.
It also provides dependent and disability coverage. In fact, more veterans rely on Social Security disability than they do on the VA. That's why this is so critically important. And astoundingly, it has not been enhanced since 1971. Richard Nixon was president of the United States.
Saying Republicans want to cut Social Security benefits and raise the collection age, Larson is offering his bill, Social Security 2100. He argues it would improve the cost of living adjustment and boost other program benefits. Trump has proposed a plan that would eliminate taxes on Social Security, a plan which is projected to deplete the Social Security fund. Ernesto is now a hurricane, dropping torrential rain on Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. Hundreds of thousands are without power. Michael Brennan is with the National Hurricane Center.
Significant heavy rainfall across these islands through the next 6 hours or so, at least. If you look at the rainfall forecast, we're still expecting storm total rainfall amounts of 4 to 6 inches across the Virgin Islands, 6 to 8 inches over southeastern Puerto Rico, with isolated amounts as high as 10 inches, as well as 2 to 4 inches of rainfall over portions of northwest Puerto Rico. So that's going to be a continuing threat.
It's forecast to strengthen on its way to Bermuda, making its closest approach on Saturday. It could become a Category 3 hurricane. Debbie is gone, but the cleanup continues. Miguel Octavio reports there's a federal emergency declaration covering Sarasota.
I've lived through, I don't know how many hurricanes and never had this much damage. I mean, never.
Her home, one of several Hurricane Debbie, flooded last week. Right now, the federal government has a disaster declaration for Sarasota and Manatee counties. It means people can apply for money from them. Members of the agency reached out to recovering families, including Ron Bond.
My best hope is obviously to be made whole.
Year-over-year inflation came in at less than 3% last month. 2.9% is the lowest CPI level in more than 3 years. The closing bell report brought to you by Bouvier Insurance. The Dow closed up 243. S&P climbed 21 points. The NASDAQ was up 5 points. Sports, Red Sox and Rangers pregame 6:10 on WTIC. Yankees at the White Sox, Mets hosting Oakland, and the Yard Goats home to play Somerset. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
1 minute.
I can't wait for golf this weekend.
Thank you.
Buddy? Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more.
Coming in right after the drop.
Power to do. Copyright 2024, Bank of America, N.A.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're back. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. As you heard, the big voice says, it doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm repeating myself. Let's get to Mike in Plainville. Thank you for holding, Mike. You are a Reese.
No.
Oh, no, we can't. No, we can't. Okay, fine. Excuse me. All right. Nonetheless. All right, we'll be back in a little bit. I just want to read a couple of comments in the chat room. By the way, if you want to join the chat room, go to reasoonradio.com. Join us on Facebook or on Rumble. So you can get your comments in, and I'm getting a whole bunch of happy birthday stuff. Susan M. is saying happy birthday. Hope you had a great day. I have a great day every time I'm on the air, WTIC, and I want to thank all the brass here for making my birthday so special, so special. Unapologetically, Eric writes, happy birthday, brother. Thanks to hearing your report about us getting screwed, I guess it's easy, for $80 million. It infuriated me to fire up my mic and record an episode. So good luck to you, unapologetically, Eric. And my ex-wife, look at that, my ex-wife calling me. Happy double nickels, she said. It's 55. I'm very proud to be 55 years old, as you already heard. I talked about that at length. I don't want to bore you anymore with that. In fact, can you play that? Can you play that top of the hour bit for a second so everybody can hear it for a second? If you, I want you to hear this horrible song. Laura sends it to me every year, but I think it's the funniest thing. You got it?
Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, play the audio that I sent you for the top of the hour. If you could play that for everybody. My birthday song. I get it every year. Laura sends it to me. I think he's getting it now. No? Okay. I think he's trying. There you go.
Reese. It's your birthday. Reese.
It's a great song, and if you're interested, look up on YouTube. It's called Epic Happy Birthdays. Just regular names only. You cannot get Jamiroquai or Your Majesty. They don't have one for those names yet. They're working on it. But if you have a name like Mark Christopher in a BPS Traffic Center, there's definitely a birthday song for you, Mark.
Well, thank you, and happy birthday, big fella.
Thank you, sir.
How's everything in the mid-50s? Everything good there?
I love it. Like I told you, I've been wanting to be here since I was 15, man.
I know that. I know.
I know.
that.
People, my wife goes, "You're so damn weird." I'm not weird. This was an achievement for me.
Well, you know what? You're still standing and you're thriving, so it's a beautiful thing, right?
That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you got a lot to look forward to.
There's still a lot of popping. There's a lot of
yeah.
popping.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There's still a lot of runway left for you, so enjoy.
Yeah,
Hey,
indeed.
if you're heading into downtown Hartford right now, we do have a crash 91 northbound at the Middletown Rest area, and that is taking out the left and center lane. So you want to stay to the right there. Delays pushing back to exit 15 in Wallingford behind that. So heavy delays there. Also affecting northbound on the Parkway. You're seeing delays Miller Avenue up to the 91 ramp because of that crash. Now, after that, you are moving well into downtown Hartford. Southbound 91's a little slow, 33 to 32. Again, down by exit 28. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Bulky Bridge in East Hartford into the tunnel. 84 eastbound tied up 46 into the tunnel. If you're 291 384, that looks good east of the river. 2 eastbound moving well, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing as you approach Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. Heading into Waterbury, 84 eastbound slowing by 18. 84 westbound delays in Southbury between exits 16 and 14. 84 eastbound in Danbury tight, New York, Connecticut line out to exit 3. And if you are traveling southbound 95, New Haven, a little slow, 46 down to 44. Some road closures right now in Plymouth. 72 is shut down at Shoal Street because of a tractor trailer that hit a railroad bridge overpass there. In Harwington, 118 is shut down at the Route 8 ramps. A 2-vehicle accident reported there. In Hartford, Albany Avenue, Route 44 is shut down between Pleasant Street and Eli because of emergency road work, a gas leak there. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Partly sunny and a little bit hazy the rest of this afternoon with a high of 88. There's a couple of thunder showers scattered about now over westernmost Connecticut. Thunder showers are most likely going to stay to the west of Hartford as we head into this evening. Overnight, mostly cleared, a low of 60, partly sunny and hazy tomorrow. There could again be a thunder shower or two around in the afternoon and early evening. Tomorrow's high 88. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, low 62. A mixture of clouds and sunshine Friday. The high of 88. Right now it is 86 at Windsor. It's 85 in Meriden and 84 degrees in Hartford. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth from Money Wisdom. Tune in this week and every week to gain a better understanding of taxes, retirement income, and long-term care. The Money Wisdom, Saturdays at 8:30 on
No, you didn't scare the hell out of me at all.
NewsTalk 1080.
A successful
That wasn't me.
it requires
the hell
a
was
plan that is custom built to suit
That was
financial
the weather dude.
vital information on how to build and live a successful retirement. It's On the Money with Jay Dorso. Retirement strategies on building income and proper protection from the pitfalls and the latest news in the retirement universe. On the Money with Jay Dorso, 3 p.m. this Saturday on WTIC News Talk 1080.
1 minute.
Space may be
Got
the
it.
final frontier, but it's also what a lot of us lack in our basement or garage.
Yeah, if I don't pot him down fast enough, that music always plays that same music.
Really?
I don't know where areas it goes to after he leaves, but
Space
it always does that.
Learn about Navient's series of high-efficiency tankless water heaters.
And you got full lines.
But
Okay,
save
so
dollars on your
Joe in New
utility
Hampshire,
bills,
no longer
too.
Mike in
For more,
Plainville.
go to tanklessmadesimple.com.
Yeah, Mike's gone.
Okay.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400.
It is your girl Cammie. And I want you to know that when I listen to the radio, okay, I listen to Reese on the radio.
Hopefully, after November, we will never have to hear that again. Reese on the radio, NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. To the phones we go. No delay. Let's go to Joe in New Hampshire. Hello, Joe. How are you, sir?
Reverend Reese.
Yes,
happy
sir.
birthday.
Thank you, sir.
The Lord has given you yet another year. You have a purpose on this earth, and it's to do what you're doing right now, informing the people that don't know any better what's really going on. Try to get AOC to call in and sing happy birthday to you like Marilyn Monroe did with JFK.
I thought you loved
She
me.
won't come on your show. She'll only come on the morning show.
I thought you loved
She'll
me.
come on the morning show, but not this show.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of which, you're saying something right now, Joe. Senate President Pro Temp Martin Looney of New Haven and Senate Majority Leader Bob Duff called the show because I understand you sent a letter. You sent a letter to Pura asking them not to do this. So you know what we know. I'm not even calling you out, not because you're Democrats, but you sent a letter telling them that this would not be a good thing. So you're in agreement with us. Maybe you should get on the phone with us and tell everybody exactly what you were writing that letter for. Anyway, go on. I'm sorry, Joe.
Well, speaking of the morning show, I am up real early every day.
Yeah.
And I do tune into TIC. They have excellent news report from 5 a.m. to 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to catch it, keep up on the news in Connecticut, and they have an excellent weather report. And sometimes I carry over a bit. The radio's on, and I heard Mr. Schenkman come on.
Brian Schenkman.
He always tells who his guests are going to be for the rest of the morning. And I took note that his last guest at the end of the show was going to be Congressman Larson.
Yes.
So I said, I'm going to have to tune into this show about 8:45, 10:09. I want to hear what Larson has to say about whatever. So I turned into TIC about 8:45, and sure enough, he comes on at 10:00. And I was appalled. I was appalled at the way Brian Schenkman didn't come back on 2 points, because all Larson does is talk about Social Security. And he said, Social Security has not been enhanced for the seniors of this state since Nixon in 1991.
I heard that. I heard the recap of that.
And I'm screaming to Schenkman, well, why don't you talk about, Larson, you voted to de-enhance the value of Social Security 3 years ago when you voted for that $2 trillion bill, which has caused all this high inflation for the senior citizens.
Wow.
No pushback at all. And then there was another point he was talking about. It escapes me right now that should have been pushed back on. And then why isn't Schenkman saying to him, you want to enhance Social Security for the seniors, and of course you voted for the $3 trillion bill with the massive inflation we have right now, and you're going along with giving Social Security to illegal aliens in the millions. It's already cost over, I hear, billions of dollars out of the Social Security fund for the illegal aliens that are getting Social Security right now, and they're expanding it day by day.
And that we know,
it's illegal aliens.
It's funny because that was considered as fake news when it was first reported. Now no one is reporting on it now that we know that it's real news. I find that you're 100% right that there's again, Larkin's.
You want to invite John Larson on
Larson, yeah, Larson. You know what? That's exactly what I'll do. Let me move on, Joe. But thank you. I appreciate the call. Let's go to Jack in Norfolk. Hello, Jack. You want me to Reese on the radio?
I don't call it too often. But first thing is after everybody pays that new electric bill, how are they going to afford an electric car? That's the first thing.
You know what? Simple things need simple answers or simple questions. Jack, that is right. That is the most, it's the simplest thing you can think of. It completely runs opposite. It runs smack right in the face of what Lamont wants to do in the first place. And he keeps saying that we're going to turn to electric vehicles, and yet he is literally dipping into the pockets of people that he wants to buy an electric car. They're never going to be able to afford it with this tax bill.
And the other thing is, watch the real estate plummet in the state of Connecticut.
Oh,
now.
Indeed. And that's, again, another thing that I don't think that look, this is not bad governing. This is inept governing. It's about agendas and not about policy. That's what I believe it is. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jack. What were you saying?
I said I have a better word for it. Stupid governing.
And you know what, Jack? I appreciate you keeping it simple. You know what I mean? When it is, so to speak. And I appreciate that.
Day.
Thank you, man. You too. Let's go to Mark in Unionville. Hello, Mark. You're welcome to Reese on the Radio.
Hey, good afternoon, Reese. First-time caller. Calling about idiots that are running the state, if I can use that language.
No, idiots is okay.
Oh, how about the people they're doing absolutely nothing. The minute I heard about it, I was calling my representatives, and everybody else has their head buried in the sand.
Well, it's not like they don't know, right? Mark, they do know. As I just said, a letter was sent to Public Utilities by Senate President Pro Tem Martin Looney and Senate Majority Leader Bob Duff. They wrote a letter to them before the vote and said that this would be unfair. This would be a burden on taxpayers in the state. So they knew. They said it was, why do it? And no one listened. So it's not like the people on the opposite side of the aisle are rooting or cheering this on. But the thing that it bothers me the most is it's happened, and they're not the ones who are being vocal about it. They should be out in droves. It shouldn't just be one side of the aisle saying this is wrong. They know it too, and they should be out on every media channel going to the governor and saying, okay, my people, my constituents, people in my district are going to be hurting behind this. Something's got to be done. Let's put an end to this electric vehicle nonsense that you want, all right, and give this state back to me. Because, again, as I said Sunday on my show, they are here. They are public servants. They are public servants to the people. They work for us, not the other way around. And right now, they're not working for us. They're working for themselves.
No, there's no representation.
Exactly.
They just do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, that's the insanity. Mark, thank
you. Pura, is that an elected or is that a...
I was, you know what? And you caught me flat-footed, but that was one of the things that I was actually going to check out. I do not know if Pura, somebody could probably tell me in the chat room, I don't know if Pura is elected. I think they're unelected bureaucrats. I'm almost certain they're appointed.
Actually, political appointees.
Yeah, I think they're political appointees. I think you're 100% right about that. I'm almost certain because I read something that sounded, or at least looked like that was the case. But thank you. I appreciate you, Mark. Let's go to Everett in East Hartford. Hello, Everett, and thank you for the well wishes today.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Hey, I'm going to do an introduction for you. It is time now for Reese on the Radio.
Thank you, sir. What say you, Everett?
Well, I mean, yesterday, the voter turnout was heartbreaking for me.
Yeah.
I had a couple conversations with a few friends of mine, acquaintances or whatever, and they have the attitude that the politicians love. I am not going to bother going down and wasting my time trying to vote because them idiots are going to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And I explained to them, I said, listen, this is the way it works. They work for us.
That's right.
You go to work, your boss is never there. So you show up 5 or 10 minutes late one day, nobody says nothing to you. Now you're 30 minutes late, an hour late, nobody says nothing to you. So you make it a habit. So instead of going at 8, you go at 9 because guess what? The boss ain't there.
Mm-hmm.
Then next thing you know, you're taking a little bit longer at lunch. Again, boss ain't around. You extend your lunch. Nobody's there to tell you to stop.
That's right.
Now you're Now you're leaving early. And again, the boss never shows up to tell you to stop, so you keep going. We are the boss. If we don't show up or call them and check on them, because it's our job to check on them, we need to show up, vote, and sign any kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
If they sign any legislation that is against the will of the people.
Well, and again, protest. If somebody goes around with something, hey, I'm protesting the rate of the sky. I need you to call your senator or congressman. They won't pick up the phone and call them.
Yeah.
And then they say, well, they never listened to us. Well, you never called and said nothing.
But that's, you know
If
what,
you don't
again.
you don't call these people. That's like the boss not showing up to work to check on you. They can do whatever they want, and you never check on them.
Everett,
It
I
is
will tell
our
you.
job to check on them.
Everett, I will tell you this, and I truly do believe this, and it always brings me back to that story I said about Barack Obama. In 2012, when he was having that conversation about the loss, like he didn't have the numbers of black support that he had in 2008. And it wasn't an overwhelming amount. It was just a smaller amount. He'd gone from the high 90s to the low 90s, somewhere near the high 80s. And there were people in his campaign that were saying, look, we think you're losing a lot of the black vote. This may be something to concern yourself with. They may go to Mitt Romney. And his response to that was, what? You think they're going to vote Republican? They're not going anywhere. They'll just stay home. And I thought about that when I heard that come out of his mouth. The first thing I said to myself was, that's what these politicians who have an overwhelming majority in the state say. They have this comfortable lead in all of the races and in things that matter in the state, that by constantly voting them in and knowing that people are either disenfranchised or somewhat defeated in a way, they can do whatever they want, and the only thing that the people in the state have the power to do is complain. And I think Ned Lamont, again, the utter disrespect of not even coming out with a statement 5-6 hours after this decision, not even bothering to tell the citizens what he thinks about this ruling, about this judgment call, shows exactly he has absolute contempt for the people of the state of Connecticut.
Well, and so does John Larson, because John Larson's been in that position for 25, almost 30 years, and he has never done anything in that amount of time to fix Social Security. And again, he does things to harm Social Security. He lets people that never paid in collect from it.
Yeah.
So he promised he's going to fix it. He's been promising it since the first day he ran.
Yeah,
and he still hasn't done it. And everybody still votes in little Johnny Larson from East Hartford.
Yeah. You're right. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Let's go to Matt in Bristol. Hello, Matt. You're on with Reese on the Radio. Matt, you there? Okay, maybe not. That's okay. Maybe Matt will call back. I'm sorry? Is he there? I can't hear him. Is that on me?
That's on him.
Oh, okay. All right, then maybe he's got himself mute. Anyway, Kenneth, thank you. I appreciate you. Kenneth says the people of Connecticut need to protest and do something about this. Remember the tax rally at the state capitol back in the 1990s? I do remember that. And remember the Tea Party movement. The Tea Party movement, what was that? That was a group of Democrats and Republicans and independents who got together and have been, again, taxed enough already. That's what the T in Tea Party meant, for those of you who don't remember it. But what did they do? They rallied. And this is something that we absolutely know that everyone's in agreement, because, look, there's no politics in how much money you have to pay out of your own pocket for things that you don't use. That's a universal burden. Especially when it's one thing to find out that you're paying for stuff that no one really asked you if you wanted, but then to find out that you're paying some extra for something you don't even use. And I'm still trying to figure out, again, 98% of the state not using an electric vehicle terminal that they are now paying for. And so who is using it? I mean, the governor is actually If he's now responsible for an $80 million bill for the smallest amount of people in the state and putting the bill on everyone else who doesn't even use the utility. And again, someone's got to explain to me, how do you not come out and say one thing, even that you're outraged, even that you're upset? These are your, Governor Lamont, these are your political appointees. Nothing? Not a word? Or maybe, just maybe, they are at your behest. Maybe this was your idea. Perhaps they're just doing your bidding. You guys don't want those electric cars. You don't want to go to zero emissions. I'll learn you. Maybe that's the truth. And then there's nothing worse than someone who throws a stone and hides their hand, Governor. Nothing worse. Let's go to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound side of 91 slowing 33 down to 32 A and B. If you're on the northbound side of 91, look for delays from approaching exit 15 in Wallingford all the way up to the Middletown rest area from an earlier accident. That is now gone, so those delays will start to ease out. Northbound Parkway also slowing Miller Avenue up to exit 68 N and E as you try to transition to 91 North. Now, after that, you get a good ride northbound 91 Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. If you are traveling southbound 91, look for slow traffic from 33 down to 32 A and B, and again down by exit 28 on the Hartford-Wethersfield line. 84 eastbound delays 44 into the tunnel. Westbound 84 a little tight East Hartford approaching the Bulkley Bridge into the tunnel. 291 384 looking good east of the river. 2 eastbound's okay, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound delays Middletown, 22 to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound a little tight in Waterbury by exit 22. If you're traveling on the eastbound side of 84 in Danbury, delays 3 to 5.
Special Op, I see you over there, man. How are you?
84 eastbound tied up again in Newtown from 10 to 11. Now, if you are traveling into New Haven, 95 southbound delays 46 down to 44. In Harwington, Route 118 is shut down at the Route 8 ramps. 2 vehicle accident reported there. And in Hartford, Route 44 Albany Avenue shut down between Pleasant Street and Eli Street. Emergency road work with a gas leak reported there. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
Sunshine, patchy cloud cover the rest of this afternoon. Quite warm with a high of 88. Some areas to see a thunder shower this afternoon into this evening. Mostly clear later tonight. Low 60. Partly sunny tomorrow. Very warm. A little hazy due to distant wildfire smoke. High 88. There'll be a thunder shower around tomorrow afternoon and early tomorrow night. Otherwise, partly cloudy tomorrow night. Low 62. Friday, a mix of clouds and sun, but high once again of 88. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest. And now, a WTIC News Update.
84 degrees, 4:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Jonathan Jacobson is the Democratic nominee for state rep from Stamford. He beat incumbent Annabelle Figueroa yesterday by more than 200 votes in a low turnout race. Word came out yesterday that Figueroa made anti-Semitic comments 2 weeks ago, saying, quote, "We cannot permit a person of Jewish origin to represent our community." She has apologized to Jacobson, who's calling on her to resign her seat in the General Assembly and other elected positions. She told him she won't resign. As far as the race, Jacobson believes he would have won regardless of those comments.
The news about my opponent's deplorable statements and reprehensible attempt to use my religion to benefit her political career, that didn't emerge until the morning of Election Day. I find it very hard to believe that any voter voting in a primary in August didn't go to bed the night before already knowing how they were going to vote.
Inflation is slowing, according to new figures. That could increase the chance of the Fed dropping interest rates next month. CBS's Jason Brooks reports.
The government's consumer price index rose a shade under 3% from a year earlier, in line with market estimates, and seeing a gradual slowdown in inflation after spiking in the first quarter of this year. The good news is that prices were down for gas, airfare, and new and used vehicles, with used car and truck prices plunging nearly 11% from a year ago. Consumers, however, continued to get squeezed in other areas, most notably housing and insurance, with housing making up 70% of the overall inflation gain in July, while auto insurance prices continued to scream higher, up nearly 19% compared to a year ago.
We'll check the numbers on Wall Street in a few seconds. Another death on the roads, this time a moped rider in Milford. Police say 65-year-old Brian McGrory of Milford was on a moped that collided with a car on Route 1 at about 2 yesterday afternoon. Hurricane Ernesto dropping torrential rain on Puerto Rico, hundreds of thousands without power. It's forecast to strengthen on its way to Bermuda, making its closest approach on Saturday. It could become a Category 3 hurricane. The closing bell report brought to you by Bouvier Insurance. The Dow up 243 points. S&P climbed 21 points. The NASDAQ was up 5 points. Dow, by the way, back over 40,000. Sports, Red Sox and Rangers, pregame 6:10 on WTIC. Yankees at the White Sox. New York manager Aaron Boone says third baseman Jazz Chisholm likely going on the injured list with a bad elbow. Mets host Oakland. The Yard Goats home to play Somerset. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Hey, Tom Shattuck here with a new opportunity for you. The 20-pound summer slim down with Awaken 180 weight loss. Dropping 20 pounds before summer ends. Cruising to your goal of 30, 40, 50-plus pounds down. It's simple. You take the few last weeks of summer, eating, drinking, enjoying the weather, but the difference? You're doing it with the 20-pound summer slim down. But Tom, summer's almost over. Well, that's the point. The pounds melt off fast with Awaken 180. I dropped my first 20 in less time, and that easy 20 propelled me to reach my goal of losing 80 pounds. Think about it. You're about to slide back into the same old fall routine with the same old mindset. No, mix it up. Live up the rest of your summer while dropping your first 20. Then jump into fall with a whole new groove. Yeah, I said it. You'll be saying it too in just a few weeks from now. 20-pound summer slim down with the solution for weight loss. Make your consultation now at 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
What if I told
Hold on a minute.
movies are already past their prime? It's true. The magnetic tape used in VHS and camcorder tapes only lasts between 10 to 20 years, which means your baby's first steps, weddings, and family vacations are fading away as we speak. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box stops this fading process in its tracks. And by preserving your recordings, they're safe forever. Legacy Box is simply the best way to preserve your past, which is why they've been trusted by over 1 million families. Your memories are meant to be shared, not chewed up by the VCR or worn away with time. For a limited time, you can convert your tapes to digital for just $9 a tape. There's never been a better time to convert your entire collection. That includes film reels and photos too. Visit Legacy
And 10 right after the drop.
to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/value to unlock our $9 offer. Legacybox.com/value.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We'll be back in a little bit, and when we do, we will be doing the 5 o'clock focus, and I'm going to talk about this this audio that I have about one of the spokespersons for Kamala Harris, who was talking to Jim Avalon on CNN. But today's 5 o'clock focus, of course, is birthday themed because, of course, it is. Yours truly's 55th birthday. This is the way I get to celebrate. This is my birthday gift, to tell everybody it's my birthday and to solicit for happy birthdays, which, by the way, my producer, Dunn, has not said happy birthday as of yet. He said it yesterday because he wanted to get it in early, but that's because he does not say happy birthday on the actual day. It's a weird thing with him. I don't know what's going on with him. It's just Roland's way. It's just Roland's way. I don't know. Anyway, nonetheless.
I thought we already been there, done that.
No, we have not. That's okay. So 5 o'clock focus. And don't go over the top. Do not say a house, a car, or a boat. Okay, those are easy. Those are easy. For the 5 o'clock focus, what's the gift that you have to give yourself because no one will get it for you? Or if you wanted to get a gift, no one would get it for you because, like, your wife even. What's the one gift that your wife will say, no, I'm not getting that for you? Because it's either too silly. Like, I've got a good friend that I know his wife, he's not married though, but I've got a good friend that I know who would want something Star Trek related as memorabilia, and no woman would buy that for a guy. There's just women aren't out there who do things like that. That's something you'd have to gift yourself. Like to go to an auction and spend like $14,000 on a movie, like to buy, I don't know, like Tony Montana's shirt from the final scene of Scarface, like things like that. Like that's something that you'd have to buy on your own because your wife would never justify the purchase of that. So what's the one gift that you have to buy yourself because no one, not your friends, not your wife, your significant other would never go down that road and buy for you? I've got a few, and I would never dare to ask my wife for it too. And they're not expensive. They're just not. But I know my wife wouldn't do it. She just wouldn't. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Mark, what is a gift that you would have to buy yourself because your wife would go, absolutely not, I'm not purchasing that? Well, you've got traffic lights in your house, right? You got like
I've got probably about 20 of them.
Yeah, so you got a lot. So is that something that your wife would actually go out and purchase for you?
You know what? When we first started dating, she would help me find them on eBay.
Really? Okay, so she would find them.
Yeah, she would help me. She was in on it back then. She said
Okay.
it was okay.
But would she
must have
purchase,
really-
like, would you come home one day and she walk in the door and she'd be like, hey, Mark, look what I got, and found like a prized one, like something like that? Or
Yeah.
She would?
Yeah, she would find something and like, she would help me, and I'd be, okay, but now, if I brought a traffic light home now.
You know what? I'm just going to give her applause because Mark Christopher's wife brings home trash to her husband.
Well, this is when we were first dating. So this is long before we were even married.
She wouldn't do it today then.
Oh, God. If I brought a traffic light home now, because there's so many down here, she would not be happy. She would not be happy. She's after me to clean out this basement. So
I bet.
Yeah, it's not pretty down here.
So she wouldn't contribute at this point, right? So I'm not contributing to that junk.
If I brought a traffic light home now, I'd be in some hot water.
Oh, I hear that.
Big time hot water. Well, Reese, if you're heading into Hartford right now and you're on the southbound side of I-91, look for slow traffic 33 down to 32A and B, and again down by
Threesome. Michael A. Why? I should have thought of that coming from Scallywags.
in Meriden from an earlier accident. Also, Parkway northbound delays Miller Avenue up to 68 N and E. After Cromwell, you're moving well, 91 north and into Windsor. Westbound 84 looks good, Vernon. Just a little slowdown, westbound 84 in the tunnel. 84 eastbound, some slow traffic, 44 up to 48 Capitol Avenue. 291 through 84 okay, East the River. 2 eastbounds moving well, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound delays 22 up to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound slowing in Waterbury. 22 into the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound, you got delays from 3 to 5 in Danbury. 84 eastbound also slowing 8 to 9 in Newtown. And 95 southbound delays 46 to 44 in New Haven. We also have a couple of road closures we want to tell you about. One is in Harwington. Route 118 is shut down at the Route 8 ramps because of a 2-vehicle accident. And in Hartford, Route 44 Albany Avenue shut down between Pleasant Street and Eli Street because of emergency road work with a gas leak reported there. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
Sunny and hazy the rest of this afternoon, high 88. A thunder shower across parts of the area this afternoon. The start of the season, particularly west of Hartford, going to get mostly clear for the overnight hours. Low 16. Tomorrow, much the same as today. Mix of sun and clouds, a little bit of a hazy sky. And there could be a thunder shower in the afternoon, high 88. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, low 62. And for Friday, mixture of clouds and sunshine. A high once again of 88. It's currently 86 in Wallingford. It's 85 in Willimantic and 84 degrees in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Computer Talk is now commercial-free. That means more time for tech talk and more time for your calls. You heard right. Computer Talk with Tab is now commercial-free, powered by GoNet Speed, bringing you lightning-fast fiber internet. Visit GoNetspeed.com for pricing and availability. Tune in Saturdays, 9 to 11.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So
Michael,
I'm to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Granger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1932 $10 gold Indian coins have been found. These gorgeous 1932 gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available.
Hold on a minute.
Are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1932 dated gold coin featuring Lady Liberty with an Indian war headdress and a majestic eagle. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1932 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 92 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-520-6468. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus over a $55 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-520-6468 now to secure your 1932 $10 gold Indian coins before they sell out. Don't wait. You must act fast. Call now.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
I like that. That's nice and smooth. It's Reese on the radio, as the big voice just said. I want to get into a little bit of this Kamala Harris thing. Because it's all anyone can talk about. And we've got the Democrat National Convention coming up. And people keep asking the usual questions. When's the honeymoon going to be over? The honeymoon. Ugh. It's exhausting to hear everybody talking about the same thing that everyone's talking about. It's not a honeymoon. That's not what's going on here, right? This is an effort to secure Kamala Harris is destroyed in 2 weeks. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. I promise you. They are running the campaign like a bunch of scared children. And they're doing it right in the faces of everyone. I mean, I've never seen anything more disrespectful. Michael Tyler, who was one of the chief campaign strategists for the Biden administration, is now, of course, they just transferred everybody over to Kamala Harris. He was talking to what's the name, Jim Acosta on CNN. Listen to this exchange, just to show you exactly. People are saying, it's like, wow, I can't believe that they're doing this right in everyone's faces. These people are too stupid to be strategists. They're too stupid to be doing anything that remotely sounds like a scheme. Please do not get caught up in this. This is just utter stupidity.
Michael, I'm sure this is not going to be the first time you've heard this question, but the Trump campaign is also going after the vice president for not doing enough interviews, for not holding a press conference. Would it kill you guys to have a press conference? Why hasn't she had a press conference?
Now, again, Jim Acosta, no brilliant man, but he's trying to sugarcoat it to his audience that says, it's not us at CNN that want her to do a press conference. It's Trump. It's Trump. I don't want you to get the impression that we're not on her side. Trump keeps calling to do a press conference. And you know how we do things here at the newsroom. We just say that Trump makes a big deal out of it, and then we force you to answer it. Now, we know that it's not Trump who needs her to do a press conference. It's the American people who support her. Skeptics who might, because remember, she's not running away with this. Skeptics, independents, and undecided need to hear from her about her party, about her policy positions. So forget about what Jim Acosta is saying. So when he says, would it kill you to do a press conference? Are we supposed to believe that Acosta is now shilling for Donald Trump? Of course not. Acosta needs her to do one because she's looking bad. What's Michael Tyler's response to this? Brilliant.
Listen, the Vice President and Governor Walz have been busy crisscrossing this country since the launch of this campaign and adding Governor Walz to the ticket. You saw the ways in which they went across the battleground states last week, generating rallies of thousands, 10,000 here, 15,000 there. But
Michael, a campaign rally is not a press conference. Do you mind if I cut in? I mean, a campaign rally is not a press conference. Why hasn't she had a press conference? She's the vice president. She can handle the questions. Why not do it?
Yeah, see, now all of a sudden Jim Acosta's interested, right? Now he's engaged like an objective journalist. Come on, come on, stop joking. Let's be serious. What's the deal?
We absolutely are going to do it. You hear her take questions as she's out on the stump, and she said last week, we're going to be having a sit-down interview here before the end of the month. What she's going to be focused on and what this campaign is going to be focused on is communicating directly with the voters that are actually going to decide the pathway to 270 electoral votes. That's why
Can you
Governor
commit to a
Walz,
press conference
went across
this week?
the country this past week. That's why we're doing a bus tour in Pennsylvania as we head into Chicago. And it's why we'll sit down for an interview before the end of the month to make sure that we can have a deep dive conversation about the vision that Kamala Harris has for where she wants to take this country and the contrast that we're going to have with Donald Trump. We're going to have plenty of opportunities to do that throughout the
Michael,
rest of,
but one interview by the end of the month.
This month and throughout the rest of the campaign.
Yeah. So even Jim Acosta knows, look, this is not good. This is not how you run a campaign. It's just everyone knows. It got worse than that. It got worse than that.
I don't want to, belabor this, but one interview before the end of the month. I mean, that's not a lot. I mean, can you commit to a press conference before the end of the month?
We will commit to directly engage with the voters that are actually going to decide this election. And that is going to be complete with rallies, with sit-down interviews, with press conferences, with all the digital assets that we have at our disposal. We are running a campaign that is built to communicate with the voters that are actually going to decide the pathway to 270 electoral votes. We are confident in the plan that we have in place, and we're going to execute on that plan.
So no. We're probably going to do an interview with one of our friendly little news reporters, somebody who will not hit us hard on the issues, will not be forced to have to respond to actual policy prescriptions for the American people. They'll probably ask us what we had for breakfast, what's our favorite color, what's our favorite curse word. Did you hear that one? Did you hear that? Asking her what's her... It's astonishing, the things that they do there. 860-522-WTIC. George is in Vernon. Hello, George. You're on Reese on the Radio.
Yes. All the electrical stations that I see there for EVs, they all say Tesla on them that are installed. I'm not sure who's paying for them, but they all say Tesla. So I wonder who's paying for all that. And another question I have is, if Elon Musk is giving Trump $45 million a month for his campaign, why does he put it towards all his stations that are being installed throughout the
Even if he is, I would call it a waste of money if I'm going to be building all of those electric chargers for cars that aren't bought and aren't being utilized. If anything, it's just like it's like putting, I don't know, it's like putting up a dam in a desert. It makes no sense. It's like building a dam in the desert. It's like, why would I put this in a place where no one has electric cars or very few people have them?
Right. And so why, obviously, Elon Musk got involved in this to have all these stations installed. So anyways, with that being said, there's a reason for that, because he got involved with it. And now he's playing both sides of the game with the Democrats and Republicans. He's kissing Trump's ass with his
wait a minute. So wait a minute. Do you believe that the state of Connecticut, that Elon Musk put the charging stations in Connecticut, and you don't think it was the other one? Because I believe that the Tesla chargers are purchased by the state, aren't they?
Through Tesla, yes.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, that part I'm not denying. I'm saying that Tesla is selling the charging stations to the state.
Throughout the United States.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. All right. Let's get that situated then. Not just Connecticut, so the whole country.
Yeah, but if you notice, the Tesla charging stations are not in areas where no one purchases electric vehicles. That's the reason why we have a electric, a charging station desert in the other lower 48 states between, I think it's Oklahoma City all the way out to like Nevada. Like you can barely find a charging station between like the middle section of the United States. They're few and far between. Tesla's not putting them in rural communities, no matter how many electric vehicles are in the neighborhood. They're just not there. And we have a federal government that spent over a couple $1 billion on like putting in 8 for other vehicles, like 8 charging stations.
Rural communities is correct.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking urban. So, anyways, Elon Musk is having the government pay for his stations.
Mhm.
We're paying for it. And he's also playing the other side for having tax write-offs with Trump and whatever. And there you go.
I might be saying that a different way, but I get you. I get your point nonetheless, George. Thank you. Let's go to John, who's in Washington State or Washington, D.C. John? Okay, John's not.
You have me?
Oh, there you go, buddy. Hey, Washington State or Washington, D.C.?
Washington, Connecticut.
Oh,
you're
shoot.
You're the regal potentate, of radio.
Oh, thank you,
I
sir.
think you're fantastic. Anyway, two things. A protest against this electric charge that's coming up. I suggest everybody, mine went up 27%. Do not pay that on your bill. Everybody en masse, just don't pay that upcharge and see what happens. That would be a great thing.
It would be,
Pardon me?
I'm concerned about one level, and I get where you're coming from, John. Trust me when I tell you that a true protest would be we're not paying for it and then forcing the electric company to shut everybody's electricity off, right? Because, again, for unpaid, right, that would be, that would be, again, the news media would respond to that. Clearly, the elected officials would respond to that as a protest. That would be, but I'm almost concerned that you would have to get the people who could afford, and I don't mean financially, you know what I mean, they would be able to afford not having their electricity on at this point. I would pick, and this sounds crazy, but I would pick a month like September and October to do something like that just when this bill comes in. Do it in and around there because we're not dealing with like ridiculous temperatures and it's the fall weather where we can do it then. And another thing I would do is get a guy like Bob Stefanowski, get some other wealthy people in the area. You know what? We'll just start getting people some generators.
Okay, gotcha. That would be a good thing. One other thing, Reese.
Yes.
Are you there? I have a very close relative that's a career military person in a high enlisted position, equivalent to what Walls was.
Okay.
And they know way ahead of time all the things that he claimed he didn't know about being deployed. He is what a liar. And this person, which we're very close to, when he was 19 years old, got deployed to Afghanistan.
Oh, wow.
My wife and I were in tears, and he's been deployed 6 times.
Wow.
And so, this guy is a coward, and I just have no respect.
John, let me
for
put
a
it to you
man that
this
would
way.
do this.
You and I, and I think you'll agree with me because we have not talked about this, you and I personally, but I made this claim maybe early in the week, if not last week. Tim Walz is coming up on a rude awakening in or around the convention because this stolen valor thing and this cowardice, this thing is not, this is worse than some sort of albatross around the campaign's neck. This is something that is ruinous for the campaign because Tim Walz.
And I hope it is.
I think it is. I'll tell you why, because the fact is that we now have a supercut of 2.5 minutes of him claiming that he was a master sergeant when he wasn't. This is not, it's no longer he misspoke. This is he lied. We are beyond the misspoke.
Body bags.
Yeah.
Body bags at Bagram.
Yeah. This is all right now. Like I said, when you can find 2.5 minutes of him lying about his service record, this is not misspeaking anymore. And Kamala Harris campaign, the Kamala Harris campaign is addressing this by saying he misspoke. Now there's far too much evidence to support that claim. And now they're going to have to say, or he's going to have to come forward and say, yes, I lied. His integrity is on the line. Forget about all the stuff that people are bringing up about the fall of Minneapolis and go see that documentary if you haven't. But he has reached that point, that fever pitch where there are average citizens who are even on their side who are saying, look, this guy may not be a good fit because he's always going to have this hanging around the neck of the campaign. Tim Walz is, Kamala Harris has her own problems, but if this guy is going to be her vice president, this muddies the reputation, if not the credibility, of the entire campaign, because it's that serious.
And the votes, the millions of veterans.
Exactly.
Out there,
Indeed.
Millions of people that have served. Maybe they're not in the service now.
But it would be, but it would
way.
be spitting in the face of those people if this campaign was to continue to keep them on, because that's what they would be telling them. It's no big deal, right? They would be pulling a Hillary Clinton. What difference at this point does it really make? You know?
Well, I'm not going to keep you because others
No.
don't want to talk to you, but you're my liege, my regal potentate.
Thank you so much, John.
You're the best, Reese.
Thank you,
You're
sir.
the best.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get to George, and we'll get to Ann in Farmington. Please stay on the line. I promise we'll get back to you during the 5 o'clock focus, or at least somewhere inside as soon as we come back. We're talking about anything and everything. The 5 o'clock focus is coming up. What is the gift that you would have to buy for yourself because there's no way you would get your significant other or even your family member to purchase for you? It doesn't have no cars, no boats, no houses, nothing ridiculously expensive. Just something weird and obnoxious that you would want to buy that your significant other or your family member would not buy. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now and you're on the southbound side of I-91, look for slow traffic now from exit 33 down to 32 A and B, and again 27 to 28. Northbound side of 91, you're going to see some slow traffic as you move up on the Middletown rest area, again up by exit 22.
Ben, give me a number. Put a number in the chat room, please.
Hill up into Windsor. Westbound side of 84 slows approaching the Bulky Bridge to 48 Asylum. 84 eastbound, you've got delays 44 into the tunnel. 291 eastbound, 384 moving well east of the river. 2 eastbound, Glastonbury to Marlboro, no problems. 9 northbound, you've got delays from 22 up to the Aragoni Bridge. Waterbury, 84 westbound, slowing 22 into the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound in Danbury, slowing by 3. Again, 84 eastbound tight by exit 8 in Danbury, and 84 eastbound slowing in Newtown between 10 and 11. If you're traveling 95 southbound into New Haven, slowing 46 to 44. And a road closure in Hartford, Route 44, Albany Avenue shut down between Pleasant Street and Eli Street because of emergency road work that's involving a gas leak. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Sunshine, patchy cloud cover the rest of this afternoon. Quite warm with a high of 88. Some areas to see a thunder shower this afternoon into this evening. Mostly clear later tonight, low 60. Partly sunny tomorrow, very warm. A little hazy due to distant wildfire smoke, high 88. There'll be a thunder shower around tomorrow afternoon and early tomorrow night. Otherwise, partly cloudy tomorrow night, low 62. Friday, a mix of clouds and sun, but high once again of 88. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and kicks off a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
News 8's Darren Kramer is live in our New
5
Haven
o'clock.
newsroom
I'm Dave
with
Mager,
all of it. So
WTIC
troubling here.
1080 News. There's a chance of a thunder shower, low 60s tonight. There's another factor that will send electric bills higher again. The state agency Pura has approved funding for an $80 million program to enhance the EV charging grid. That means an increase in the public benefits charge on your bill. House Minority Leader Vin Candelora is still calling for a special session of lawmakers to address high prices.
The legislature needs to come in here and stop it. There is a lack of recognition, I think, of where we are for our residents. I mean, we are seeing high inflation. We're seeing gas prices at a high and grocery prices at a high. I am hearing from my constituents, they just can't afford to pay these bills.
State Senate Democratic leaders asked Pura for a delay in today's vote. A late morning gas leak leads to a key road closure in Hartford, not far from Duncan Park. Main Street, Route 44, is closed at High Street for 1 block. The Hartford Fire Department says it got word of a gas leak at 1355 Main Street. Nearby buildings were evacuated. Now the leak is under control. Residents are back at home, but Main Street at that spot will remain closed as the utility works on repairs. Crucial ceasefire talks on the Israel-Hamas war resume tomorrow in Qatar. Hamas is not expected to attend.
Tomorrow's going to be an important day.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says CIA Director Bill Burns and U.S. Middle East Envoy Brett McGurk will be there to represent the United States in these crucial talks aimed at ending the war in Gaza.
We want to see a ceasefire. We want to see an end to this war. We want to see hostages come home, including American hostages.
The talks come even as a top Hamas official says the group is losing faith in the U.S. as a mediator in the ceasefire negotiations. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Connecticut Congressman John Larson was at the White House to mark the 89th anniversary of Social Security. It's a program Larson has been working to protect.
And as we fast forward even to today, with a lot of companies and people getting away from pensions, for more than 40% of the 70 million people on Social Security, this is the only thing that they have.
Larson is advocating for his Social Security 2100 Act. Donald Trump says he wants to cut taxes on Social Security, something critics say would deplete the Social Security fund and add to the national debt. Hurricane Ernesto is drenching Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. Michael Brennan is with the National Hurricane Center.
The center of Ernesto, currently located about 175 miles to the northwest of San Juan, moving off to the northwest, still rather quickly at 16 miles per hour, but still big rain bands, tropical storm conditions, flooding still occurring over much of Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands. We have flash flood warnings in effect for all of the U.S. Virgin Islands and the eastern and southern portions of Puerto Rico.
Hundreds of thousands are without power. Inflation is at its lowest year-to-year rate in more than 3 years. The Consumer Price Index came in at 2.9% in July. That could mean movements at the Fed.
The Fed has said that they believe the inflation rate is slowly coming down, and although they do not meet again until mid-September, most analysts and economists believe that they will cut interest rates at that September meeting by at least 1/4 percentage point, maybe 1/2 percentage point.
CBS's Jill Schlesinger, closing bell report brought to you by Bouvier Insurance. The Dow is back over 40,000. It closed up 243 points. S&P was plus 21. The NASDAQ was plus 5. Sports, Red Sox and Rangers pregame 6:10 on WTIC. Yankees at the White Sox, Mets hosting Oakland. Yard Goats home to play Somerset. Minnesota Vikings rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy is out for the year after knee surgery. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Men, low testosterone causes a host of problems. These include bad sleep patterns, unproductive workouts, decreased energy, brain fog, and more. But many men just attribute these symptoms to aging and don't consider that there are medical treatments that can give them back their vigor and vibrancy. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if you're feeling like I just described, it's time for you to treat that low T and change your life. At Northeast Men's Health, we're experts in treating low testosterone and other men's sexual health conditions. We've successfully treated thousands of men for low T and have seen the amazing difference that those treatments can make in a man's life. If you're feeling like the vast majority of men who are low T, within just a few weeks, you'll feel your energy return. That brain fog will go away. Your sleep will improve, as will your workouts, and your sex drive will be significantly enhanced as well. So make an appointment and make a true life change. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices across the Northeast to serve you.
You're listening to
Coming right in.
Filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man.
I'm getting messages inside the chat room that everyone should take a moment to jot down. Ben C. is actually in the chat room, and he said he just called the governor's office about charging stations. The guy said that they are getting a lot of calls about this. Please encourage people to call, which we will do now. That number is 860-566-4840. Again, 860-566-4840. I will be repeating it throughout the rest of the broadcast. Again, I know that some people can't get up and go to the, go out and talk to people or get out on the streets. A lot of people don't want to get involved like that. It's not like, it's not like George Floyd protesters who are out there trying to rabble rouse. Some people, that's just not their bag. But something needs to be done. So if you want to do it from the comfort of your home, you can. Again, 860-566-4840. 860-566-4840. 888-848-40. And the office is open until 6 p.m., so you have an hour.
You expecting a call?
Me? Am I? Not who we got on the line?
Oh, he just dropped off. It was Tom Tyler from Enfield.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I wasn't expecting him, but if he's calling in, I'd be happy to hear from him. I'm not familiar with who he is.
Lawyer from Enfield.
Oh, is he? Okay. Well, you know what? If he calls back, let's find out during the break what he's calling about. I'm sure if he's got something that he can add to this conversation, be happy. Nonetheless, 5 o'clock focus coming up. If you want to opine about the 5 o'clock focus question, it's my birthday today. That's all. I'm just celebrating. That's all. It's just the way I'm celebrating. But we're dealing with all the news and the views as well. But if you'd like to, today's 5 o'clock focus is what gift do you have to give yourself? Because no one, especially your significant other, would buy for you. I've got a few, and it is usually sneakers. It's usually, and I'm not a sneakerhead, not like that. Not a sneakerhead. I'm not looking for Jordans or anything like that. But a particular style of sneakers that I want, I will buy. I like shoes. I'm a big shoe guy. And I've got a lot of shoes. It's Imelda Marco sickness, I think I call it. So, yeah, I won't ask a woman to buy me shoes. I have to buy the shoes because I want to go to the shoe store and I want to try them on. And I will even go to the shoe store in the slacks that I am going to wear the shoes with so that I check them out. So shoes is a big thing for me. I've got some other stuff that I will purchase, but that's online, like music. Old albums, from my hip hop era. I would never ask my wife to look at for stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff I do. Or, of course, dodgeball. I would never, ever ask her to buy me the video dodgeball because she would laugh at me. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hi, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're heading into Hartford.
Bowling ball.
You would not ask her to buy bowling ball?
Exit 30.
No, it's $200.
Woo!
And again, 27 down to
Damn.
28 on the Hartford Weathersfield line.
But then she's got to know exactly the grip, the whole placement. She's got to know like all the details, right?
Yeah, but no, she wouldn't do that. She would just give me money.
Oh, but I'm talking. See, that's the whole point. I'm not giving you money. I'm talking about some. Like, would she go out? That's what I'm saying. She wouldn't go out and purchase the bowling ball for you, primarily because it's a detail-oriented purchase. Like,
yeah, she wouldn't do it even if it wasn't detailed.
3 to 5. 84 eastbound in Newtown, slowing by 11. Southbound 95 in New Haven, tight 46 down to exit 44 in New Haven. And if you're traveling in
wow, that's such a great question. Imagine Walls as president awarding the Medal of Honor to a veteran.
A gas leak reported there. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Oh, I guess my weather guy taking a break. Freaking live dudes, man, I swear.
Really nothing?
Sunshine, patchy cloud cover the rest of this afternoon. Quite warm with a high of 88. Some areas to see a thunder shower this afternoon into this evening. Mostly clear later tonight, low 60. Partly sunny tomorrow, very warm. A little hazy due to distant wildfire smoke, high 88. There'll be a thunder shower around tomorrow afternoon and early tomorrow night. Otherwise, partly cloudy tomorrow night, low 62. Friday, a mix of clouds and sun, but high once again of 88. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Remember, for all station contest rules, go to WTIC.com/rules.
Columbia Implant Center introduces AI technology to our multi-specialty practice and digital lab. We fabricate teeth replacement with efficiency, quality, and accuracy. 1 day, same day, 7 days. Call 860-730-6020 or visit ColumbiaImplantCenter.com.
Start your day with all the latest sports information. Matt Soroyce has updates from the Cordell and Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
As we enter the dog days of summer, depend on WTIC News Talk 1080 for the weather information you need. Who knows what Mother Nature has in store? Sun, humidity, thunderstorms? But Bob Cox and the WTIC weather team will help you plan your summertime activities. Accurate, dependable, local weather. Weekday mornings and afternoons on the 8s. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to
still
sell
got George
it
and Ann?
fast at a fair price, call me at 203-89.
No, we do not.
000.
Full lines.
Cash and close.
Oh, you got a full boat?
7
Okay.
days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
What if
1 minute.
movies are already past their prime? It's true. The magnetic tape used in VHS and camcorder tapes only lasts between 10 to 20 years, which means your baby's first steps, weddings, and family vacations are fading away as we speak. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box stops this fading process in its tracks. And by preserving your recordings, they're safe forever. Legacy Box is simply the best way to preserve your past, which is why they've been trusted by over 1 million families. Your memories are meant to be shared, not chewed up by the VCR or worn away with time. For a limited time, you can convert your tapes to digital for just $9 a tape. There's never been a better time to convert your entire collection. That includes film reels and photos too. Visit value to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/value to unlock our $9 offer. Legacybox.com/value.
It's the 5 o'clock focus. It's the 5 o'clock focus. Focus, man.
Okay, a little bit of Mos Def, Black Star. Reese on the Radio. News Talk 1080 WTIC, taking your phone calls. Talk about anything and everything under the sun. Eversource, Tim Walls.
First up is Paul in Derby. I'll put it in the rest.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. First call is in Derby. Who's that?
Paul.
Paul is in Derby. Hello, Paul. You on Reese on the Radio?
Hey, it's not Paul. This is Ned Lamont there, Reese. Sorry about it.
Hey.
Happy birthday,
Is it?
I want to clear a few things up with you today, if I could,
Yeah. Your voice should be higher. For some odd reason.
Got a couple bones to pick with you.
Yeah.
Get all fired up here. That's the problem,
That, sure. What?
Heard a lot of bad talk. A lot of bad talk about me today.
Yeah, a lot of bad talk about you not reaching out to the constituents of Connecticut.
We didn't buy those Tesla Chargers. They'd say Ned Lamont Charger on them if they did,
Ned Lamont's Chargers.
Ned Lamont Special Edition Tesla Charger, sorry about, just want to clear that thing up right now.
Well, I'm not blaming you for the Chargers. What I'm blaming you for is the constant.
Tens of cars, there are literally tens of cars needing to be charged in the state. Tens of cars. We need $80 million for these Chargers.
Yeah. And you know what? It's amazing that people do not understand your point of view, that $80 million to again, as you said, to charge tens of cars.
You don't want to break, you don't want to run out of the battery on the side of the road in Connecticut here.
Such a good point. Well, Governor, I appreciate you calling in, and I know you're a very, very busy man. Listen, why don't
look here? I got it going.
That's okay. Listen, we're going to let you go, and if you can find new.
I got to get moving now.
That's right. Yes, I know you have to go, but while you're gone, see if you can find new and inventive ways to rip off the constituents. We appreciate it.
Annie, we miss you.
Much appreciated.
Again soon. I'm gonna have to get the hotline because we spent a lot of time on hold here.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Take care now.
Thank you. Mike is in Colebrook. What's going on, Mike? How are you?
Hey, Reese. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
So, we got to focus on the focus.
Yes.
Your focus was, you said something about.
What is the gift that you have to buy yourself
gift.
because you can't convince your significant other, your family, to buy it for you?
Copy that. Okay. So I'm going to start off with a little story here. I was a instructor at a technical institute.
Oh, okay.
Of higher education, and I taught the CNC and manufacturing course. I was the lead instructor.
Okay.
So the first year, we did a class project. The first time that this school ever did a class project, they made a chess set. Every one of the students, they made all the chess pieces.
Oh, okay. Okay. So there's
they learned how.
There's like
they
a
learned how to
molding.
machine.
Is it like a?
No, it's machining.
Okay, machining. Okay, gotcha.
CNC machining.
Gotcha.
Okay. So I received a Executive Officers and President's Excellence in Education Award for that.
Oh, congrats.
But the next year, I had my students do a class project, and they built a replica of the Golden Gate Bridge that was 5 feet long.
Wow.
3 feet high, and there were no screws that put it together. It was all done with dowel pins, so everything had to be perfect.
Wow.
The next year, I wanted to build an X-Wing fighter.
But what was the scale?
So that goes back to where you don't buy, the girlfriend doesn't buy her husband a Star Wars thing. Well, my girlfriend is a Star Wars freak.
Okay.
I had to watch that last Star Wars movie, and it sucked. It
Oh,
really
yeah.
did.
It was bad. Yeah.
It was bad, and she thought it was great. I'm like, nah, okay, it was okay.
But what did she do? Did she buy you the equipment to build this X-Wing fighter?
No. But what I did was I had to teach the students how to use the 3D software.
Okay.
And she went online on eBay and got me a little tiny one. And we had to blow it up. Now, this little tiny one was like 8 inches long.
Okay.
The one we built was 3 feet long.
Wow.
This thing is massive.
That's like the one that George Lucas would actually build something to that scale, like 3-4 feet long. Like he would actually.
Yeah, it was 3 feet long by 30 inches wide.
Wow.
The wings opened up and closed down. The landing gear came up and down, and it actually had lights. It was.
That's a good listen. I will tell you that one, Mike. That's a good one. But you know what? Your wife needed to be a fan, so I'll give her kudos for that because obviously she's a fan and she probably wanted to see you build that herself.
I took what's the Han Solo guy?
Oh,
he's the one that ran that thing.
No, the Millennium Falcon.
No. That's his X-Wing fighter. These are the little fighters that the good guys who were running.
No, X-Wing fighter was Luke Skywalker. Millennium Falcon, that's Han Solo. Trust me, it's my favorite ship of all time.
Luke Skywalker? Okay, I'm not a Star Wars
That's
guy.
okay. That's
really
okay.
care,
the Millennium Falcon, listen
is,
to me. I want to build a house that looks exactly like the Millennium Falcon. Okay.
Okay,
That's how much I love that thing.
I can't help you with that, but she went online and I said I don't want that Han Solo flying this X-Wing fighter, so I want Chewbacca to do it. So she went online and found a Chewbacca that was at the right size.
Oh, and she put it right. Oh, that's not bad, sir.
I had to cut its legs off, but it's sitting on her nightstand.
Now I'm cutting this off. The fact that you had to cut off his legs is sacrilege, Mike. That's over. Thank you, man. I appreciate the call. Let me move on. Let's go to Dave in Litchfield. Hello, Dave. You're on Reese On Radio. Cut off Chewbacca's legs.
Hello, Reese.
How are you, Dave?
Good. Listen, you don't seem to be too terribly concerned about the Harris Waltz ticket. You think they're in trouble, huh?
Yeah, I'm not concerned with it because, again, I know deep down people are looking at the outside of this campaign, and that's what it is. You know, this is like the outside of a Tootsie Roll Pop, right? The damage is on the inside. And everyone's looking at the glowing colors and how it looks on the news media. Because remember, the news media is blowing this up. And by the way, they've never been right about anything. In the last 7 years, has the news media been right about anything that they've reported on? Absolutely. They cannot be trusted. So while they're telling you on television that this is the most glowing campaign ever and she's got a possibility of winning, and a lot of other people are following suit by repeating it, what do we find out at the end? We find out that the vaccine doesn't work, that Dr. Fauci is a fraud. We find out there is no Russia, and everything is a hoax. So when you hear all these people screaming and hollering the same thing in unison without anyone like sounding a little bit off, or at least being somewhat investigative or even curious about why everyone is saying the same thing, it's always the opposite. I never trust the mainstream legacy media, and I don't care if it's Fox, Newsmax, or CNN. There are too many people who are repeating the same mantra and not on the ground. That's the one thing that I've noticed. They're all there in the ivory towers, but I don't see them on the ground. And on the ground, there's a completely different story hashing out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was talking to some of my friends in my club I'm in, and they're all, a lot of them are Trump supporters, or pretty much Trump supporters. And they're saying the stories, like my landlady, her electricity utility bills went from $100 a month to $300. So she's charging me about half that.
Yeah.
And one guy is saying I was paying, I forget, well under $100 a month. I think it was $35 a month, some ridiculous low thing, earlier this year. Now I'm paying $300 a month for my little apartment. One guy saying I'm paying $500 a month for electricity and heat in my house.
Yep.
Or utilities in my house, and now it's $700. And I think people are getting angrier and angrier about that.
Exactly. So again, and what you're talking about is exactly my point. So we have real world tragedy happening with everybody's pocketbook, right? We're seeing prices go up and up and up. We have a woman who's on the campaign trail saying what she's going to do the first day she's elected while she's in elected office. And we're supposed to believe the news media who is telling us that there's joy in the American people are not feeling joy about November. They have fear for tomorrow or next week or even next month's rent payment. There's no joy. Nobody's excited about Kamala Harris today. Can't be, because right now Kamala Harris is in office with Joe Biden while they are absolutely feckless on everything that is costing them money because they have no response to it. And by the way, Kamala Harris hasn't expressed to anyone, why doesn't she just get off the campaign trail when she's off and then go to the White House and actually take care of the no taxes on tips? It could be done today. Today. But is she afraid to go to her boss and say, hey, listen, you know what you really, really could do to save my campaign, or at least make my campaign somewhat palpable to the American people? Do the stuff I'm on the street talking about I can do. If we do it now, we can destroy Donald Trump because we can show them that all the things that I want to implement, we could do now, not on the first day I'm elected, today. Let's at least give them some bang for their buck. But they're not. I don't believe a word coming out of news media's mouth. Whatever they're excited about, look at the opposite direction. It's not that rosy. It's no way it is.
Yeah, I know. Well, you talked about that. There are many I know the white working class has been drifting over from the Democrats to the Republicans over the past 30 years or so. There's actually a very good video. If you people are listening on the radio, you people are driving and listen to TIC and Reese, look online. There's about 11, 12-minute video. It's called Trump Won Because Clinton and the Democrats Dismissed the Concerns of Working Americans by Thomas Frank.
Oh, yeah, I do know that. That's a great video. That is a great video.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
And he explained that. All right.
I appreciate you. Let me go to Ann in Farmington because she called back and I want to take her right now. Thank you for calling back, Ann. How are you, ma'am?
Hey, thank you so much for taking my call. I wanted to just say a few things back to Connecticut here. As far as PURA goes, PURA commissioners, there are 3 of them. There are 5 seats open. There are only 3 commissioners, and they are appointed. They are not elected.
That's right.
They are appointed. And the last commissioner that was just hired, that started August 5th, David Arconti, was the former co-chair of Energy and Technology and employee at UI. So there you have that. As far as Governor Lamont, I think it's time that he goes. In the last legislative session, I met with him personally on a bill for the cable industry. That's a whole nother topic. We won't get into it.
I hear you.
But, I can imagine that your listeners have a lot to say about their cable bill and the lack of choice and the speeds and but that's a conversation for another day.
Yes, ma'am.
We were talking with him about this bill and telling him the importance of it for the people of Connecticut, and he wouldn't even bring it to the floor for a vote.
What was his response as you brought us to his attention? Was he aloof? Was he?
Oh, no, and it was a small meeting in his office. He was not aloof. I said to him, "Do you understand the issue?" And he said loud and clear. And what bothered me the most was the fact that this man did not even bring the bill, which was written by folks at the state, in the state, not outside of the state. It was all vetted. He would not even bring it to the floor. And so we were told by Republicans, if we want the few things that are coming our way because we're in the minority, we have to follow this guy's lead. And the Democrats are saying we have to follow this guy's lead. And to me, that's not democracy. If
At all.
you have elected officials who represent your constituents, they could not even vote on this cable bill because Lamont would not allow it to go to the floor for a vote. So if the legislators voted no, okay, they vote no. But he would not even let it go there.
He wouldn't even let He wouldn't even let the opportunity exist where people could vote for their constituents. And again, they're going along to get along, which shows exactly the point you've made is the same point that many people who called this show have said, that this guy is running almost executive fiat like a monarch, and he's not running. He's not working as a public servant. In no way is he working as a public servant. Thank you, Ann. I got to go to traffic, but thank you for the call, and I'm glad you called back. Let's go to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're 91 southbound, delays 33 down to 32 A&B, and again 27 down to exit 28. Northbound 91, look out for an accident now. Looks like it's in Wallingford, right on the Wallingford-Meriden line between exit 15 and 16, so some slow traffic there. If you are moving north of that, Cromwell up into downtown Hartford, you have no issues. Westbound side of 84 slowing, approaching the Bulkley Bridge to 47 Sigourney, 84 eastbound locked up, 44 Prospect Oakwood into the tunnel. 5 and 15 northbound slowing from the Charter Oak Bridge over to the 84 East branch. We're seeing some slow traffic east of the river, 58 to 59 and 84 East. Looks good, 291 through 84. Route 2 eastbound's in good shape, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing, 22 up to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 eastbound a little tight in Waterbury by 18. 84 eastbound Danbury slowing New York, Connecticut line to 5 in Danbury. Again, delays 8 in Danbury. To exit 11 in Newtown. And if you're southbound on the Parkway, look for some slow traffic by exit 60 in Hamden. Also look out for some slow traffic as you move the end of the Merritt Parkway up to the Sikorsky Bridge. Looks like an accident northbound on the Sikorsky, delays back to exit 52 behind that. And if you're 95 South New Haven, you're tied up from 46 down to exit 44. Road closure in Hartford right now, Route 44, Albany Avenue shut down between Pleasant Street and Eli Street because of emergency road work with a gas leak there. And in Brooklyn, up in the quiet corner, Route 169 is shut down between Hyde Road and Woodland Road. Pole and wires down there. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
Partly sunny the rest of this afternoon. Hazy skies due to high altitude smoke for distant wildfires. I-88. There'll be a thunder shower in spots this afternoon and early this evening. Mainly clear overnight. Low 60. Partial sunshine tomorrow. Again, somewhat hazy. There could be a spotty afternoon to early evening thunder shower. High tomorrow 88. Low tomorrow night 62. Clouds and sun on Friday. High 88. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
83 degrees in Hartford at 5:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Jonathan Jacobson of Stamford feels he would have won his Democratic primary for state rep anyway, but he got some late help from his opponent, incumbent.
Thank you, Tara.
For the election, anti-Semitic comments by Figueroa.
And Cuomo is always worse.
Figueroa said, quote, "We cannot permit a person of Jewish origin to represent our community." Jacobson says she apologized yesterday.
I felt the sincerity in her apology, but I shared with her that it was not only hurtful but harmful, and that the damage had been done. She asked me what I think she should do because she did not know. My response was that I called on her to resign all 3 of the elected positions she currently holds.
Figueroa told Jacobson she won't be resigning. Amid low turnout, Jacobson won with 600 votes to Figueroa's 358. Party-endorsed candidates lost the 2 Republican races for Congress. Matt Corey beat Jerry Smith for the GOP nomination for Senate. Corey will face incumbent Chris Murphy. In the 4th Congressional District, Michael Goldstein will face incumbent Jim Himes after defeating Bob McGuffey. There was a major hazmat emergency response at a FedEx dock in Windsor Locks this morning. Nitric acid was spilled. According to state officials, no one was hurt. Year-to-year inflation came in at less than 3% last month.
Prices at the retail level are up 2.9% over the past 12 months, excluding food and energy. The annualized gain in the core is 3.2%. Now, both of these represent an improvement from the previous month, and they're the lowest annual increases since early 2021.
Mark Hamrick of Bankrate.com. The closing bell report brought to you by Bouvier Insurance. The Dow back over 40,000. It climbed 243 points. The S&P up 21. The NASDAQ was plus 5. Sports, Red Sox and Rangers, pregame 6:10 on WTIC. Yankees in Chicago to face the White Sox. Mets hosting Oakland. Yard Goats home to play Somerset. And Minnesota Vikings rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy out for the year after knee surgery. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker. WTIC 1080 News.
Hey, Tom Shattuck here with a new opportunity for you. The 20-pound summer slim down with Awaken 180 weight loss. Dropping 20 pounds before summer ends. Cruising to your goal of 30, 40, 50-plus pounds down. It's simple. You take the few last weeks of summer, eating, drinking, enjoying the weather, but the difference? You're doing it with the 20-pound summer slim down. But Tom, summer's almost over. Well, that's the point. The pounds melt off fast with Awaken 180. I dropped my first 20 in less time, and that easy 20 propelled me to reach my goal of losing 80 pounds. Think about it. You're about to slide back into the same old fall routine with the same old mindset. No, mix it up. Live up the rest of your summer while dropping your first 20. Then jump into fall with a whole new groove. Yeah, I said it. You'll be saying it too in just a few weeks from now. 20-pound summer slim down with the solution for weight loss. Make your consultation now at 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
For eligible individuals.
1 minute.
Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
Okay.
A little tinny. Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Selects Premium Package, better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home, all done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better.
You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge.
Oh, you people are wonderful.
Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee.
I hear better than I ever thought possible.
Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to jabraenhance.com/try.
Coming in right after the 2 drops.
Enhance.com/try.
Got Ralph, Rob, and Craig.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man.
Stay on the line with us, folks. Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. I've got Rob. Who do I have? Ralph, Rob, and Brian, who's on.
Craig.
Craig is on hold. So stick around for those. Calls will be coming up in a little bit for the 5 o'clock focus, talking about what is the gift that you have to buy for yourself because no one else will bother to buy it for you. Also, studio equipment like cameras, lighting, and things like that. I got to buy that stuff on my own. Like speaker, like I DJ a little bit, so I don't, I just, that kind of stuff. I keep my wife away from anything electronic. I won't let her do it. She was like, I had to buy a soundboard. I'll never forget it. I had to buy a soundboard, and the cost of the soundboard was a little more than $400. And I couldn't justify the price. I was just like, nah. My wife grabbed the thing off the counter and dragged it up to the attendant and paid for it because she knew I needed it. And it was like, she was like, you never buy yourself stuff. And I don't. That's another thing that I don't do. I don't really spend a lot of money on stuff like that. So Roland said he buy a 200. Would you say $200 was like for a bowling ball?
That's how much they cost, man.
I cannot justify a $200 bowling ball. I look at it. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're probably going to get a use out of it that, you know.
I just caught first place that paid $2,000.
I get it. Like, no. See, this is the part that and I think it's lost on you that I don't get it. It's because I don't do it. Right, I need to, like, if I was into bowling, I could justify the cost. I'm so far removed from the idea of a $200 bowling ball. I know that when I go to a bowling alley in one of these little, run-of-the-mill ones, you get there and the ball's there for you. And I look at that ball and I throw it down there and, I might get a great score, make it 185. For me, that's great, by the way. A 185, and I'm fine. Nothing ever happens at a bowling alley where I say to myself, yeah, I think I'm going to buy one of those.
My 4 balls, my bag, and my shoes, walking around with about $1,300 of equipment.
See, I don't. Like when you have to buy your kids like cleats and things like that, those things are justifiable because they're kids. That's the stuff that you have to buy. But I couldn't, I know these people spend a lot of money on whatever the sneaker fetish thing is, and buying them and then never wearing them. And I'm going, they just sit up in a shelf? And I'm like, how much you pay for those? The guy said, I bought those for $1,500. I'm like, $1,500 for a pair of sneakers that just sit there? What? Makes no sense to me. And I've got to be involved in order to do it. Some people, your hobbies are your hobbies. Forget it if I crap on it. If it's your thing, it's your thing. I don't want to get anybody the impression that Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center, do you have any quirky things that you buy? Do you like a collection of snow globes that nobody knows about?
No, not snow globes. I think it's just traffic lights with me.
Just traffic lights? Okay.
I stopped buying them a long time ago.
And I told
They're pretty big.
I told you what my weird thing is, right? It's the Dodgeball DVD.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Dodgeball DVD, but it's only it has to be in one of those bargain basement bins that they sell the things for $2 or $3, and it has to be visible. So if I walk into a Walmart or a Best Buy and they've got a bin of DVDs, if Dodgeball's sitting there, I have to buy it. Like Jerry, what's his name? Mel Gibson's character in Conspiracy Theory, where he keeps buying Catcher in the Rye, but he's never read it. I keep buying it.
Why? Yeah, but why do you need more than one copy? That's what I'm trying.
I have 9, and I still don't know why.
Oh my gosh, it's something weird.
I love that movie. My theme music is based on the final. You've seen it, right? The final Dodgeball thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the final, listen to that. Watch that movie again, and the music that plays at the Globo Gym Globonauts against the Joes. They play this rip by Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine. That's my intro music.
Oh my God!
I love that.
I never knew.
I love that movie more than anything in the world.
Well, there you go. What's the name of the song? Do you know the name of the song?
I don't. It's called the Dodgeball Theme. I think that's what it's called. But it's by Tom Morello at the end of the movie.
I'll have to look that up. All right. Well, thank you very much, Reese. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now,
Well, that's how I feel about Waffle House.
if you
Every time I see one, I have to
you
go
have to
in.
eat there.
Taking a little speed as you move from exit 44 Prospect Oakwood up to 48 Capitol Avenue. Westbound 84 is a little tight approaching the Bulky Bridge up to exit 47 Sigourney Street. Southbound 91's okay. Just a little tight 33 down to 32A and B, and another bump down by exit 28. 291, 384, looking good east of the river. 2 eastbound's okay, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound, look for slow traffic now as you approach Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. 84 eastbound, a brief slowdown by 18 in Waterbury. 84 eastbound, Danbury, tight New York, Connecticut line out to exit 3. And delays again from exit 9 in Newtown. 84 eastbound out to exit 11 in Newtown. If you are traveling southbound 95 in New Haven, slowing 46 to 44. Southbound Parkway, a little tight between 61 and 60 on the southbound side of the Parkway. Whatever was going on northbound on the Sikorsky Bridge, if there was an accident there, that has cleared now, but you're still seeing delays from 52 up to the Sikorsky right at the end of the Merritt Parkway. And in Hartford, Route 44 is shut down, Albany Avenue between Pleasant Street and Eli Street because of emergency road work. There's a gas leak there. Also up in the Quiet Corner in Brooklyn, Route 169 shut down between Hyde Road and Woodland Drive with a pole with wires down there. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Thunder shower in some areas, generally west of Hartford early tonight, then turning out clear. Tonight's low 60, partly sunny and hazy tomorrow. There could be a thunder shower in the afternoon or early evening. Tomorrow's high 88, partly cloudy tomorrow night, low 62. Mix of sun and clouds on Friday, high again 88. Could be looking at a couple of showers Saturday, especially in the afternoon. More humid on Saturday with a high of 81. Right now it is 80 in Plainville. It's 84 in Berlin and 86 degrees at Hartford. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth from Money Wisdom. Tune in this week and every week to gain a better understanding of taxes, retirement income, and long-term care. The Money Wisdom, Saturdays at 8:30 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Join us this Sunday for Tumulo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father and son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch the replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumulo Financial Retirement Planning with Integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
The Red Sox have one more at home against the Rangers before hitting the road for the next week.
Drive into left center field. This is going to tie the
Keep it here for a 6:10 start between the Red Sox and Rangers on WTIC News Talk 1080.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Beyond's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details.
Hold on a minute.
Information subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio, Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, about to wrap this up so I can sit down and watch Empire Strikes Back for the 1,258th time, as I always do on my birthday. Right, it's my favorite movie ever, The Empire Strikes Back. Star Wars, you know. Anyway, but to the phones we go before we get out of here, and they've been on hold long enough, and I thank them for it. Ralph is in South Carolina. Hello, Ralph. You're on the Reese on Radio.
Good afternoon, Reese. Happy birthday.
Thank you, sir.
Savannah is very close to where I am.
Uh-huh.
And they're advertising, they're looking for police officers.
Oh, wow.
First requirement is a driver's license.
Okay.
And guess what the second requirement is?
Oh, I don't know.
How about a birth certificate?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Third requirement, if you have any degrees, proof of degrees that you have.
Okay. All of this sounds on the up and up. Is this about to get worse?
No, but my point is that you could be an illegal come into this country undocumented.
Uh-huh.
God only knows who you are, what you're up to, and what you've been. So, again, I don't know, maybe you disagree. The point I'm trying to make is police officers need a birth certificate.
Yeah.
You don't need a birth certificate to vote in this country.
What is the state? Do you remember, Ralph? There's a story a couple of weeks ago. Maybe even a couple of months ago. There was a story where some municipality was thinking of hiring undocumented people to work in law enforcement to some capacity.
Yes.
Do you remember
Yeah,
that?
I remember. Yeah, I remember exactly. You're right. And they were looking for undocumented people.
Yeah.
But how can you put anybody undocumented on a police force?
I
You
did
have no idea who these people are.
Exactly. And I'm like, imagine the amount of corruption that would be put on the citizen. And I think the objective was to put an undocumented person on the police force so they could engage with the people who are undocumented in the community. Obviously, this was happening in a sanctuary city, but the objective was to sort of have one of their own sort of police them. And I'm like, you want to talk about the absence of authority, the absence of legal authority seemed insane to me. You know, it was just, it was crazy to watch someone suggest that as a policy prescription to something that they literally forced on themselves. They were like, okay, so now we're giving sanctuary to people who are here illegally. And to go one step further to make them feel more welcome, we're going to put undocumented people on the police force so they can deal with them so they had one of their own. So, you know, is that going to, are we going to give them a gun?
Yeah, we'll give it to the illegals.
Yeah.
One last thing, and I think, again, this is, probably beating a dead horse. We are paying $400 a night, we taxpayers in New York, $400 a night.
Wow.
To put up illegals in a hotel room. But why do we have veterans living in tents on the sidewalks?
Because, again, probably...
Please explain that.
I can explain it to you, and it's voting power. I think that's exactly what it is. I think it's voting power. But I appreciate you. Thank you, Ralph, as always, sir. Let's go to Rob in Middletown. Hello, Rob. Thank you for holding, sir.
Happy birthday, Reese.
Thank you, sir.
You know what makes this problem with the electricity even worse?
What's
the
that?
State found $460 or $480 million a couple months ago. If they gave that to Eversource, it would almost cover the $600 million nut that they're trying to recoup.
And let's not forget what Ryan Fazio said right here on this network on my show. They've already pulled in close to $350 million from this from the public benefit charge already. So that's sitting on it, and they've already allocated $100 million of that to something else. Well, if you've got $250 million, why not you just give it to this overage, this tax overage, and just pay that bill so you don't have to throw it on to the citizens of the state?
Seems simple enough, doesn't it?
Exactly.
But
exactly.
You can't fix stupid. Stupid is what got us into this mess in the first problem.
Yep.
And I get the feeling it's going to get us into an even bigger one.
Oh, yeah. Listen to me. The fact that this could happen, we got the January 1st increase, and then we got another increase coming on September 1st. If something tells me we are in for something that's going to make everyone's heads explode. Because...
Yeah, and this...
No, go ahead.
And Generation Wuss is all for this. They need somebody to take care of them. They need to be coddled. They need somebody to give them an expenditure. Here, you can only spend this much, and that's what it's going to come to.
Yeah, indeed. Yep, that's what's going to happen.
You're going to get 10 out of every $100 that you make, and they're going to get 90. Where are you going?
Yeah, exactly. You know what? That's the reason why I want to talk to Ned Lamont, because I'm going to say, look, man, if you actually start taxing people into the poorhouse, what makes you think that other people in the state are going to see that and say, we need more of the same, and we're going to help you with your green initiative? No way. This is turning off the whole state to the idea. And I don't know whether or not it's purposeful or just inept. Or it's because the governor's inept. I just don't know. It makes no sense to me. And that's probably why he's not coming out, because he has no answer to this. He wouldn't know how to respond to this, because, again, this is the fact that we have Democrats coming out and saying that this was a bad idea before the decision was made is all you need to know.
I mean, to hear Tim from Hamden,
yeah,
it's like, brother sounds like a Republican, doesn't he?
I know. Like I said, I knew that was going to catch everybody off guard. I'm glad it happened as early as it did. Thank you.
Me as well.
Yeah, thank you, Rob. Much appreciated,
Thanks,
sir.
Reese.
Craig is in the car as always. How we doing, Craig?
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great, sir.
Perfect. New AirPods. You know, I love the gaslighting that's going on. I've been listening to the news, not just yours, but all over the place today, that year over year inflation is lower than it's been since blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't include energy and food.
Nope.
Reese, let me ask you a question. Where are the two places you're feeling inflation the worst?
Oh, definitely energy and food.
Energy and food. The two things everybody needs to survive.
Exactly.
I don't need a new flat screen TV. I don't need a new iPhone. Don't need a new car. But I have to eat.
Yep. And it's the big, and that's the part, you know, that's the part that drives me nuts the most, as you're talking about. You have everyone talking about what the stock market's doing here, or you might hear what the inflation numbers may look like here. And it's done on this sort of plane or plateau that is not reachable to the average citizen. We have the smallest amount of people as American citizens who are involved in the stock market, who are involved in sort of what do you call it? The middle. The term I'm looking for is, job creators, right? We have a minimal amount of people who are in the job creation space who would really respond to the numbers that they're talking about. But the average citizens, the average schmo who's going to work, working for somebody in a small business, that person has to make the paycheck that they have, which, by the way, isn't increasing, take that back home and feed their family with them, and at the same time keep them cool or warm. No one is talking about them, which shows how out of touch they are, or much less, they don't care.
Well, and let's not forget, inflation rate may be going down, but it is still inflation.
That's right.
It's still higher than it was. It's the equivalent of an abusive husband saying, "Don't worry, honey, I'm going to hit you less today than I did yesterday."
Exactly right. 100% right. That's the analogy they need to recognize, because everyone's still getting hosed. And they're now telling you, it's like, and I think your analogy is right. We're not going to hose you as bad as we did yesterday, okay? Today it's only going to hurt a little. But nonetheless, it's still hurting.
And it's everywhere. Hey, focused, the 5 o'clock focus.
Yeah, what do you got?
I'm a watch guy.
Okay.
I love watches. I got a bunch of watches, $400 or $500 watches. I don't have a luxury watch. I need my Omega. I need my Rolex, and nobody's going to buy that for me. I want something to hand down to my son or my grandson. I need that.
Okay, so, you know what? That's a really, really good one. That's actually really good.
I turned 55 10 days ago, so maybe for 56, we make that happen.
You know what? Whoever's out there who knows that Craig is in the car working his butt off, let's get him an Omega or a Rolex. Why not? 56.
I love you, brother.
I love you too, bro. All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate everybody. Thank you, everyone, for checking in today and enjoying the show. Again, this is my birthday gift to me. Only I could give myself this. And of course, Janine here and everyone here at WTIC, only they could give me the gift that keeps on giving. And that's being on this station with you. Every year, I've been here now 2 years now, just over 2 years now at WTIC. So I really feel at home. I'm not going to get too comfortable. Don't get me wrong. When I say I feel at home, I'm not trying to get comfortable. This will always be, for me, a great show. I'm going to work my butt off to always make it a great show when I'm here. And I think I've got a good guy in Roland at the helm who's making me sound as good as I look, which means mediocre. It means mediocre. That's all I can say. So that's all I can say with all of this. So, again, I've got no big plans. I am going to watch The Empire Strikes Back. That is my movie. And people ask why The Empire Strikes Back out of all the Star Wars films. Let me break it down for you, because this is me and I get to talk before we get out of here. So, one, I cannot stand Star Wars A New Hope. However, it was the first big movie I saw in the franchise. My Uncle Dennis took me to go see the film, and he was enamored with it. He bought the soundtrack. He made me listen to it 5 times in a row, back and forth. He made me listen to every song, every musical performance on that album by John Williams. So I knew everything about Star Wars by the time The Empire Strikes came out. My mother took me to see The Empire Strikes Back. It will always be the closest moment I ever had with my mother. My mother and I had a tumultuous relationship all of our lives, but the one moment where I knew that my mother loved me. I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. I knew in my heart, you always have that doubt because your mom's, my mom was an abusive woman. That's all, I can just leave it at that. But my mom took me to go see The Empire Strikes Back because she knew I wanted to see it. And I don't know what led her to take me to the movies, but she cared enough to let me go see that movie. It was the most anticipated movie of 1980, and she took me to go see it. And I saw that movie, and it meant a lot to be there with my mother who took me to see that film. And it just stuck with me. And then I saw The Return of the Jedi, and those Ewoks made me sick. Think what you thought of Jar Jar Binks. I could not stand the Ewoks. I thought it was kind of a dumbing down of the Star Wars franchise, and it always made me mad. But the reason why The Empire Strikes Back really made me love movies, and that movie in particular, is because the hero loses. And to me, that was real life. That was so real life. The main character got his arm cut off, and he finds out that the guy that he's been trying to beat all the time is his father. And I was in a fatherless home, and it resonated with me. It really did. And for some odd reason, that movie will always capture like either my heart, my mind, or whatever. But the line that always got me as well was do or do not, there is no try. But everything about that movie, I lived that movie, and I can know every word from beginning to end. Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. I will watch it forever. Even if it's on basic cable with the commercials. As I always say, radio is free. So we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese On The Radio. You, may the force be with you. And he is Mark Christopher, the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Reese, have a great night. If you're heading into Hartford right now, 91 southbound, look for delays 33 to 32 A&B. South of downtown, you're
All right, good sir. Enjoy your movie. Enjoy your meals.
I will, definitely. I'm about to have dinner now. Thank you, man. Always, man.
Some slow traffic.
I'm telling you, man. You have no idea. My adoration and affection for you knows no bounds. Thank you for
now we do have some emergency
for making this show pleasurable for me, man. I love coming in every day, man.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. All right, I'll talk to you soon.
See you tomorrow.
All right, bye.
Don't drink too much now.
I don't drink, so no, it won't be in
well, even better then.
See you, man.
Down there.
Yes, sir.
Between exit 9 and 10 as you head up into that area. Now, if you're heading into Middletown 9 northbound,
all right, everybody. Yep, time for me to get up out of here. You welcome, Fritz. Thank you, Michael A. You guys all be good. I will see you tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. All right. Thank you, Fume. I appreciate you. You guys be good to each other. All right.